And you can get a hold of us through that if you have just a quick question or something along that line. But yeah, we're here for you, and this is kind of what we're most excited to do. So I'm going to lead us through a quick kind of introduction and icebreaker so we can get to know each other a little bit better. And then we're going to have greetings and welcomes from our director, so our boss, who's going to welcome you to the program, and then our director of Innovation Village, who's was the former person who ran this program, but also offers a lot of strategic oversight to this program as well. So they're going to come bring you guys some greetings at 10. So for the next kind of about 40 minutes or so, probably 35 minutes, because we'll take a quick break, probably at about 9:50, so everybody can have a bio break. We're just going to chat and get to know each other a little bit better before we really dive into the program details and kind of the platforms and stuff like that. So we're going to do a quick icebreaker that's called show and tell. And in show and tell, what you're going to do is you're going to show us something in the space that you work that tells us something about you. So that can be, you know, your favorite teacup, it can be your pet, it can be maybe your partner who's working beside you at the table, a trophy from your bedroom, something like that. So take just like 2 minutes right now to kind of look around and see if you can find something. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tell us a bit of a story about that thing and hopefully share something a little bit about you that we didn't know before. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. At 9:20, we're going to start. Go.
I'm in Toronto right now, not my room. I don't think I have anything.
Okay, your sister can be the thing that you can be like, this is the picture of my sister.
Okay, cool.
Like a story about her. I gotta see if I can find my dog.
All my stuff is like packed away because I'm moving.
It's just something that has a story around it that tells us something we didn't already know about you. Okay, 9:20. So if you are back, great. I've had to capture my dog, so I'm going to go first because she will run away from me very soon. But
Can anyone hear me right now?
yes, hi Max.
Okay, what's up? I had to press *6.
Oh, who knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm here. I'm not Zoom bombing you guys.
Perfect. So Max, we're gonna play a game of show and tell. Obviously you can't show us, but you can just tell us maybe a fun story or tell us what you're doing so that we can learn a little bit about you when it's your turn, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm gonna start. Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey. As you know, I'm the entrepreneurial curator at Leap Junction. And so I'm here as a host and as an advisor for you for this program. Something I want to show you about my life is my dog. This is Rogue. She's a Spanish water dog. She does not like being cuddled, so this is really torturous for her. But one of my favorite things to do is to hang out with her, and I take her for long walks almost every night after we finish work. She loves to swim and play, and I also love to swim and play. So I will talk often about how much I love my dog, and I will make jokes and references to dogs. So if you are not a dog person, I sincerely apologize, and I'd like to let you know that you're wrong. So that is her. She has a chicken chew in her mouth that I'm bribing her with, and she's going to run away. But that's my show and tell for today, and I hope that you enjoyed meeting her. I see a couple other of you have dogs that you are finagling there, so I'm gonna let you go first because, as we know, they have minds of their own. So Jesse, you can go next and tell us a little bit about your show and tell.
Morning, guys. So this is Peaches. She's my Westie. Had her for 5 or 6 years now. She's not too skittish. She likes to cuddle. She loves to also swim, run around, play. She's got lots of hustle, lots of heart. Yeah, that's it. That's Peach.
Hi, Peaches.
I think I'll go next because I know I can't keep this guy here very long. So this is Jedi. Jedi is my best bud here. So I've had him for about 4 years. He's 9. My girlfriend and I adopted him from a friend of mine who couldn't have him anymore. Jedi is what I would consider he's what we call the asshole gentleman. So he is sometimes really nice, but also can be a gigantic asshole. He doesn't like to cuddle, so this is about as much as you get out of him. But yeah, he's super cool dude. And I'm going to be sad when we go back to work and I can't be with him every day. But maybe we'll be able to bring him to the office soon. Who knows? But yeah, this is the guy. He knows one trick. It's this here. Pop. Yeah, we're really proud of that one. It's hard. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Kristen, you're next on my screen.
Good morning, everybody. I don't have pets, but I feel like I need to get one now. These are my stepdaughters right here. I got really, really lucky when I met my partner. These two lovely ladies were very accepting, and we're like this. They love to go running with me. We love to go biking. We have them 50% of the time, so we have a very busy household. I honestly don't know how parents have their children 100% of the time, so I'm very lucky.
Thanks, Kristen.
What are their names, Kristen?
This is Kenna right here, the little one. She is 5 now. This is an old picture. And this is Indy. She is 9.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Kristen. They look cute.
Raj.
Morning, everyone. I didn't have a lot of things over here, neither do I have pets, although I want to get one. But this just arrived last week, so I was very happy for that. This is my degree from Fanshawe for my accounting.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. They just sent a paper copy. I had a PDF before, but this feels better as paper. But yeah, really, really happy for that. Been a good journey with Fanshawe, being an international student. I'm really looking forward for what comes in the future.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Tyler.
Bonjour. Everybody can hear me okay? Awesome. Sorry about missing the last meeting, guys. Missed everyone. So for myself, personally, my father was a police officer growing up, so I always tell this story because he was always a great provider, but he was never there at my sporting events and stuff. But one of the biggest memories I have of him growing up was I had a school day where it was canceled due to weather, and he put on this movie called Return of the Jedi, and it became one of the biggest things in my life. So what I do growing up is I buy and collect Star Wars toys, and I don't open them. I never open them. And one thing it's always done is it's brought a little bond with my father and I where we can go to expos and collecting. But what that did is it fast forward 10 years later, it just kind of put the icing on the cake of what I wanted to do in my life of opening up a museum, but, you know, preserving artifacts and preserving who we are. So I guess I got my cousins and family to thank, because one thing I enjoyed growing up was going over to their house and seeing Star Wars toys, those old Kenner 1970 pieces, and always wanting them. And now with technology, the way they're remaking toys, that's one of the things I do is go out and buy Star Wars toys. I go to Disney World, well, not soon, but hopefully when it opens back up the right way, that I go back there. So it's a passion that I truly deeply love is Star Wars. I believe a lot of people don't know this, but when I took my police foundations course 10 years ago at Fanshawe, that you can actually legally put Jedi as your religion. A lot of people don't know that, but it's you could put that as your religion because there's such a big fan base following for it. And then I also have 4 dogs, and in my native tongue we call those dogs Nimush. So I appreciate everyone showing their dogs because I have 4 best friends. I've had the mother. I bred her to have 2 puppies just so I could always have her in my life when her time comes. She's been my best friend for 10 years, and I'll be very sad the day she leaves to go to the spirit world, but I'll always have 2 babies to be with me. So at some point, you'll probably see them in my life or in the picture or barking, but for right now, I travel up to my fiance's to come here to use the internet. I don't have internet on my First Nation reserve yet, so it's a challenge to do those kind of things, and that's why I just want to tell everyone that's kind of who I am. And that's what brought me into this program, and just who I am as Tyler French, an Anishinaabe person. So, Jimmy Gwetch for your time, and privileged to see everybody today.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks.
I know I can speak for Dave and I, as we both have dogs named after Star Wars characters, and I'm not sure about the rest of you, that I love that story. I'm going to guess that he does too. Andres typically rolls his eyes at Dave and I when we talk about Star Wars, so I'm so happy to have more people to talk about it with.
Always.
So happy. We're big fans, yes. That's excellent. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, and I think that's great. That's a lovely bond that you and your father share. That's wonderful. Omar, I know you're not in your own home, but if you want to tell us just a story or something instead, that's quite all right.
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so this necklace has been in my family for a really long time. It was given from my grandfather down to my father and then down to me. And if you actually look at this picture of me, like it looks pretty small here, but this picture of me when I had it when I was younger. So it looks a lot bigger here versus now, but that's just something that's always been in my family for a long time. So, and I plan on giving it to my son one day. So yeah, that's just a little something about that.
That's beautiful. What, I can't see on your shirt, what's the pendant?
It's a cedar tree.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Omar. That's beautiful.
No problem. Thanks.
Omar, real quick, is there any resemblance to the cedar tree? I just say it because it's one of 4 sacred medicines in our indigenous culture. So I just want to know if you personally have any reconciliation or anything to do with cedar tree personally.
The way I see it is that like it's a symbol of strength in my culture, and like with my grandpa, he never took it off. My dad, he never took it off, and I plan on never taking it off. Like I've literally worn this since I was this big, so I don't plan on ever taking it off until I give it down to my son. So I feel like it gives me strength and it keeps me focused.
Awesome. So real quick, you can go out and pick cedar and boil it and make cedar tea. It's one of our most powerful medicines, and that's what I've been drinking during this whole pandemic. Is cedar does a lot of healing for you. So just wanted to let you know that it's awesome to hear another culture protect that cedar tree because it's a powerful tree right there in front of a lot of people. So miigwech for sharing that, brother.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. Andre, you're next. And you're muted.
Okay, hello. Okay, I have this photo of me and my old roommate, but I met her working at Starbucks. I don't think anyone knows that. I worked at Starbucks for almost 4 years while I was in college at Fanshawe and a little bit afterwards. I left and came back twice, I think. So yeah, that was like a big part of my life that happened. Which I learned a lot from and made some friends from and ended up living with somebody for a while from. So that's mine.
Thanks, Andre. Aaron.
Hey guys, one of the things that I have in my room is a rover that I built a couple years ago. It's being held together with like a bunch of like duct tape, but still pretty works. So it actually like, the way it works is it will actually run through the computer. So you can actually have like a live image of the feed and it can like move around. That's pretty much it. Thanks.
Why did you
Super
build
impressive.
it?
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, sorry. Just curious. Why did you build it? Just for fun?
Just for fun.
Nice. Awesome.
That's super cool. Kelly.
Hey everyone. So I had to scramble to find stuff because I'm moving to Hong Kong, so all my stuff's like packed away. But I found something that was like too big for me to pack, anyways. But so me and my dad is like a huge antique collector. He loves antiques. Our house growing up was like filled with like weird signs, and he likes really weird antiques. Like so he'll like a sign that says like no spitting or something, you know, like something like weird. So we'll go to like lots of like antique shows every year. So I kind of like collecting weird antiques. So I have here like a giant safety pin that is on my wall, and I just like having like my house decorated with like weird stuff. So this was probably like in a pharmacy at one point. And yeah, so I like antiques, but weird antiques. And I guess that's what I wanted to share about myself.
That's awesome.
Love that.
It's from a giant baby.
Yeah, giant baby.
Giant diaper pin. I love it.
I might need like a giant diaper now. Be a Halloween costume, just being a big baby. I don't know.
Kelly, can you
bigger than you.
confirm where you're moving to again?
I'm moving to Hong Kong.
Okay, I thought I heard those. Just small move. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Hong Kong.
Yeah, pardon?
I'm from Hong Kong.
You're from Hong Kong?
I literally moved here like 9 years ago.
Okay, we need to chat then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've never been there, so I don't really know anything about the city. I'm hoping to learn Cantonese, so I don't know if you speak Cantonese, but
yeah, I do.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. That's a fun little connection. You guys should definitely explore that. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Kelly.
No worries.
Maybe you can help her with some key words that she'll need, Jocelyn.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know nothing, so anything helps. Anything at all.
So yeah, try not to bug Kelly too much when she's there, because I think when you're tuning in, it's going to be quite the time difference, eh?
Yeah, I'll be tuning in at 9 at night and going till like 1 a.m. So if you're wondering why I'm like shrouded in darkness, that is why.
We'll try to connect with Kelly before the day starts instead of after, if you need her. Jason, you're next.
Is it a full? Sorry, Kelly. Last question. Is it a full-time move, or is it just to go explore, to go on adventure?
It's for 3 years. My husband got a job as a professor at university there, and then I'll be working at a studio there, like a pottery studio. So I'll be like continuing my business, just like taking it and then bringing it over there. So yeah, and then I'll be back in Canada for the summer, so I can like, you know, still connect with like my London community and participate like here. So
we're very excited for Kelly's move and to see how that all works out for her, because she's going to be our first ever person to take leap in another country. So we're very excited for that.
Yeah, you'll get to see me when I have like jet lag the first couple days after I move.
Leap Junction has gone international, people.
Yeah.
Chintan, you're next.
Hello, everyone. So I have this picture on my wall, my workplace. So this is a picture of my current work where I have been working for more than 5 years, and this was when I got the Best Employee Award, and it was I was fairly new. Like I think it was about 5 or 6 months since I started, and I don't know. I just at that time I felt proud, getting this award because I was fairly new and I was competing with other employees who were already there for a long time. So that's what I have from my workplace.
Thanks, Chintan. Where is it that you work?
Tribe Medical Group.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jocelyn.
Hello. If you saw me flipping around just now, it's because I was looking for this. I actually just received it in the mail not too long ago, even though I had the news. This is I think the second wedding I shot. And I'm super excited that it got featured in this magazine because it was kind of a goal for me, like when I first started to be published within my first year. So like, I don't know, it felt really good. And my parents got like 10 copies of them to like distribute to all their friends and family. So there's a copy in Hong Kong right now, actually. And I'm super excited about that. And I'm gonna aim high. Next one will be like Wedlux, if I could get in there.
What is the magazine?
It's called Hitched.
Nice. That's lovely. And can you show us the pictures again? Cool. Congratulations, Jocelyn. That's excellent.
Congrats.
Thanks. It's definitely not my best work, but like, you know, you got to get in there, get your hands dirty.
For sure. Congratulations. Max, you're next. I don't know if you can speak right now, but if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
For sure. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
So the one thing I have on me right now is probably my favorite t-shirt. I'm wearing it right now. It's a Tragically Hip t-shirt. It's my favorite band. If anyone knows the show Tales from the Crypt from back in the day, it's like a take on that. It says Tales from the Hip. It's my favorite t-shirt. But yeah, it's the one thing that's special to me that I have with me right now. My pops and I would just listen to Tragically Hip all throughout my childhood. So it's something that's special and meaningful to me. It's been super nice hearing everyone's stories. But yeah, I'm sorry I can't see you guys today.
That's quite all right. We appreciate you joining us by phone, even if we can't see your face. That's great. Thank you, Max.
Max, where are you going to right now?
I'm currently in sunny Sunridge, Ontario, on my way to North Bay. I'm just doing some sourcing. Just like the thrift shops in the GTA and like London are pretty populated, so I try and get out of the city to try and find the cool stuff. I'm also meeting up with a collector who says he has some stuff from Lollapalooza, Lollapalooza 92 and 94. So that'll be cool if he has some stuff hidden away that I can purchase off of him. But yeah, hopefully it's worth the trip. But I've gotten some nice stuff so far. I'll be able to show you guys when I get back. But yeah, I'm just doing a sourcing trip right now up in Sunridge, Ontario, North Bay.
Nice, good hustle, Max. Good hustle. I hope you get some good finds while you're up there.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys all so much for sharing. Thanks for playing along with me. We're going to do an icebreaker pretty much every morning. Some of them will be quick, some of them will be games, some of them will just be quick snippets, and we'll kind of work through those. So thank you for playing along with me. We are going to, Dave, do you want to start doing an overview, or do you want to take a break before our special guests come?
I think we have enough time. I can go through the overview now. I think that as long as what time is Annette and Darlene joining us? You said 10?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes to go through. So
just real quick. So if you guys have seen the schedule or were on the call last week when we went over the schedule, we had us going till about 1 today. We expect that we'll be able to go through it a little bit quicker. So we're going to try and kind of get through it a little bit quicker so that you guys can have time to start getting really dive into the, whatever that word is. You can really dive into the program today and do a lot of looking around because we got a lot of content uploaded for you. So we're going to try and kind of burn through this as quick as we can, but there is a lot of housekeeping things. So we appreciate you bearing with us, and over to you, Dave.
Okay, actually, give me 1 second. Does anyone need a bathroom break, like 2 minutes? Or yeah, okay, 2 minutes. And I'm just going to pull up my presentation. Give me 1 second. thought I had it open.
Does anyone know what the weather's like in London right now? Because it's 25 degrees here. I think you guys had like a heat warning. Is that right?
It is currently 27 with a high of 35 today.
Oof.
So it's not warm at all.
Apparently the heat warning is just like indefinite. Like they don't have like a time frame for it. It's just gonna be like a heat warning forever.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like compared to the last 2 years, this summer is a scorcher. I'm a big fan of the heat, so I'm actually really enjoying it. But most people aren't, I think. Everybody see that? Can everybody see the screen? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go grab a water. I'll be right back.
He came out and then we shut the door, and he was still standing in the hallway, and he like turned around and like looked at the door and like went back to it. Like, as soon as you shut it, he like wants to come back in.
Just want the weekend out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna just keep the door shut, but I'm gonna open the window a bit. Or maybe not. Okay. Oh, that was a new sound.
Might be me. I'm joining the Zoom call once again.
Oh, okay. Oops. So we'll just wait for Jesse. Once he's back, we'll get going.
So, David, Tyler, Kelsey, when are we going to Comic-Con?
Yeah, hopefully when we can, go to things in person again sometime soon.
Agree, I'm down.
Max, can you hook us up with some sick t-shirts to wear?
I could get Star Wars t-shirts for everyone. We'll all roll up in some Star Wars t-shirts. I do have quite a bit of Episode 1 t-shirts. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's a touchy subject with Episode 1.
I usually go in costume, so
I also am a fan of the cosplay, but Episode 1, oh, I don't know, man. I don't think I can do that.
I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror wearing a shirt like that.
I do like a good vintage Amidala, but Jar Jar Binks just really kills it for me.
Oh my God, that is so dramatic. And that's coming from me. That's dramatic.
Jesse, nice t-shirt change. Good job. Showing some support. Okay. Jocelyn, are you there?
Yeah, but like it's a little like the images keep freezing, so that's why I took my video off.
Okay, no problem. Just wanted to make sure you're there. Can you see the shared screen?
Yes.
You can? Okay, cool. Excellent. All right, so that is everybody here. Cool. So as the slide says, let's get started. So this is just going to be a quick overview, guys, of the entire program, just so you can kind of understand how we're approaching it. So we'll go over kind of what our goals are for Leap In, a little bit more of an overview, some of the learning outcomes, and then we're going to do a detailed program outline from week to week. And then we'll have Annette and Darlene will be joining us for a bit. And then after they come and chat with us, we're going to go and do a little bit of a review of our community guidelines when we're participating online on our new Leap Junction Online platform, just so you can kind of understand how we view communication on our own private network. And then we'll do a little bit of a tour of the platform so you'll know where everything is and how to use everything. And then lastly, we'll do a little bit of a growth wheel tour today also, okay? There's gonna be some other things, but that's what I'll be doing with you guys today. So first and foremost, program goals. So our goals with Leap In is basically to help you as business owners, further develop what we call your entrepreneurial mindset. And the purpose of this is to give you opportunities to consult with experts, increase your confidence in pitching your business, help you to become a better business leader, and enable you to grow and expand your network with the ultimate goal of helping you to build a strong foundation for your company and allow you to move a little bit closer towards whatever your goal of success is. So that's kind of how we approach developing the 7 weeks. So as you know, we bring together a network of resources, and that includes mentorship, workshops, presentations, and discussions. These are going to be from Fanshawe College professors and other institution instructors, as well as other professors. We have entrepreneurs joining us this year from, some that are currently in their business, others that have already exited their companies. We have other business leaders and entrepreneurial ecosystem organizations all joining us as well. And the purpose is to provide you, help and support that you're going to need to, further expand your network and further bring your vision to life. So there's going to be lots of opportunities to talk to many different people throughout this program. We've really stacked the speakers this year. You're going to see a lot of days where usually we would only be bringing one person in, but a lot of these days we're going to have double speakers. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to ask questions and learn from people from all sorts of walks of life, all sorts of different industries, who are most likely going to have knowledge that you're going to need. So I'm excited to bring those opportunities to you. So please, every time we have a presentation or a speaker joining us, you will be able to see on our online platform who it is. We have bios for everybody as well as contact information. So I definitely recommend, if you think it's going to be relevant to you, look them up, do a little bit of research ahead of time, and prepare questions ahead of time, because we will always have a Q&A afterwards. So it's a good opportunity for you to ask things right then and there in the moment when it's relevant. And of course, if you want to connect with our speakers individually, almost all of them have agreed to give their contact information, so each of you can reach out as well. So a little bit about kind of how we orchestrated this. It's all around what we call the 4 basic business challenges. So regardless of which industry you're in, whether it's fashion, whether it's food, whether it's high tech, regardless of what life stage your business is in, so whether you've already started, so if you're, or if you haven't started, so a pre-startup all the way to high growth, and whether you're a one-person business, a partnership, or a company with many employees, building and growing a company comes down to what we call the 4 basic business challenges. And these challenges represent the 4 key cornerstones of building and growing any company. They are, these, what we call these challenges are creating an attractive business concept, which involves finding the right business idea and designing the right product portfolio. So that doesn't mean that none of you guys have done that. Of course, you already have your business ideas. Most of you have your businesses up and running, but the product portfolio is always difficult to manage and navigate as you grow and expand. It also involves selling it to the right people and using the right revenue model, and doing so while maintaining a strong market position. Okay. The next biggest challenge of that an organization will face is establishing a strong organization. So this involves deciding on the right type of company and ownership structure, and sometimes finding the right board structure as you grow and expand to a possible corporation in the future. It involves recruiting and developing the right employees when you're ready for it. It also involves learning how to outsource tasks and strengthen a company through partnerships, as well as mapping the core business processes and having the proper legal frameworks in place. The third business challenge and third cornerstone is building lasting customer relations. And this is what a lot of you will spend the majority of your time on. This is involves, sorry, I really need some water. This involves learning how to network, get the right introductions, get the right connections. It involves choosing the right way to do your marketing and organizing an effective sales process. It involves getting in the media and on the customer's agenda by handling communications and PR. And it also means living the values that shape a strong brand of the organization. The last challenge that most of our companies face would be maintaining profitable operations. This is about being productive and making money. So here we focus on ensuring the right financial practices are in place and ensuring there's enough funding for your business as you grow and scale. It involves setting up the right production and project management systems to ensure you can deliver on the value that you're proposing to your customers. And it also involves setting up the right IT systems and other systems that will facilitate carrying out the business operations. Now, the topics that we're going to discuss over the next 7 weeks will help to develop your entrepreneurial knowledge base and empower you to overcome these 4 challenges. You will learn how to create long-lasting value for your customers, how to establish your business as a strong organization, and how you will grow and maintain profitable operations. So the learning outcomes that we're expecting from this, we have 6. And what we're hoping that you're going to gain from this program is to have a clearer understanding as to how to successfully and efficiently operate your business. You're going to get exposure to various tools and techniques for successful business management. You're going to get knowledge of more resources that are available to you that you didn't know about, and the knowledge needed to develop and execute a proper business plan, a strategic marketing plan, a sales strategy, and a financial management plan. We're also hoping that you will learn to develop a community and actually engage with that community. And that's beyond just your customers, okay? And lastly, an elevated understanding of how to bring your product or service to market or grow in your current market, okay? So now we're gonna look at the program outline kind of week to week. I know we discussed the calendar in the past, but I'm gonna go over each kind of week in detail in content, and then the deliverables that we're expecting for that week as well, okay? So for week 1, it's kind of broken down into 4 little topics. Week 1's kind of just a touch on a few things. Obviously today is our welcome. Tomorrow we'll be discussing goal setting from a few different perspectives. On day 3, we're looking at what you stand for. So creating, purpose in your business, looking at your mission, vision, and value. And then lastly, reviewing your current business model. So as you know, there's many challenges, at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey. So these lessons are designed to kind of teach you about the initial steps towards building a strong foundation for your startup, creating vision for the future of your business, and developing a business essentially that, can have impact in the world. Oh, sorry. So content we're seeing here is, today it's all about getting to know us and getting to know each other. We're going to get online and get connected with our private Mighty network, which is Leap In Online. We're going to create your business profile on Growth Wheel. I know a few of you have already done that already. And you're going to connect with me and schedule your first one-on-one meeting as a business advisor. You're going to learn about professional communications and online etiquette. And then we're going to learn to set goals tomorrow for your business and for your personal development. You're going to define your startup idea from a values-based perspective. And then we're going to look at understanding how to create a company or a startup that actually matters to you and to the world. And then we're going to create a mission, vision, and value statement that you actually believe in. And then create or improve on your business strategy using our business model canvas. So some of you have gone through that exercise with me before. We're going to do that really rapidly for those who haven't done it in the past. And then we're all going to kind of help analyze each other's models and learn from each other about where we can improve on things. Okay. Deliverables for this week are going to be pretty light. What we're looking at is just having you set some ambitions and goals for the next 7 weeks using our Growth Wheel Ambitions Tracker. We're going to complete what's called a Happy Startup Canvas, which is about looking at your mission, vision, and values for your business. And then you're going to draft, do your first draft of your mission, vision, and value statement. So even if you've done one in the past, we're going to rip it apart and have a look at it, okay? You're going to define a bit of a path to growth as you scale and grow your business. We want to know, where you're heading in the future. And then we'll want to see at least the bare minimum, a first draft of your business model canvas. All right. Any questions about week 1 so far? Awesome. Okay. So week 2 is market research, looking at your customer and product portfolio and revenue models. So understanding the market and your customers is typically hard, but super essential component of your startup success. So these lessons in week 2 will give you the tools and methodologies to calculate the size of your market properly and the characteristics of your customers. So you'll also start to design your customer personas if you haven't done so before, and learn how to reach those targeted customers. You'll discover what values your solution can bring to your target customer, develop a product service mix and a value proposition. And we will also take a look at alternative sources of income for your business, so alternative revenue models. So in this week, we're looking at developing your company product and service value prop. We're going to be looking at features, attributes, and benefits of all your products and services, so listing each of those out. We're going to be looking at conducting in-depth market research and competitive analysis to identify more business opportunities for you. We're going to be doing a detailed SWOT analysis and pestle analysis, as well as going through a few segmentation exercises. And the purpose of that, is to do more customer discovery, looking at markets that maybe you haven't seen as an opportunity in the past, with the entire purpose of helping to build your sales and marketing strategy as we lead into that towards week 4 and 5. So we will also be giving you an opportunity to create detailed customer personas, as well as different versions of your value proposition. So one from a company standpoint, and then one from each of your product or service standpoints as well. And then learning about the best sources of income for your business. And then there will be some supplemental market sizing, which is actually going to be through a partner organization, Mars. We have a course that is just supplemental, kind of do in your own time, and I'll introduce that as we head into that in week 2. Deliverables for week 2 will be the SWOT analysis exercise, as well as pest analysis exercise and a segmentation analysis exercise. We want to see kind of a first draft of some customer personas for your main primary target customers, as well as a first draft of your entire company value proposition. We'll also want to take a look at a product and service FAB list, as well as creating your first discount policy. And then I'd love it to see that you've logged in and are starting to move towards your market sizing course online as well. Okay. Any questions about week 2? No? Awesome. Okay, week 3 is about becoming known for who you are as a business, because it's very hard to become known and it takes a ton of patience. But once you have a strong brand, you can create a company that you can be much more proud of, and one that will start to take notice without any efforts on your end. So this week, we look at how do we create an authentic, incredible brand for ourselves, and how we can weave our own story and our customer's story into that brand. You'll also learn how to be a great speaker, how to craft a strong elevator pitch and pitch deck, and we'll begin to develop your marketing messages. So this week, as you know, it's about branding, storytelling, pitching, and your marketing message. Do we have someone trying to join us here? Oh, okay. So we'll learn elements of a very strong, authentic brand, as well as the elements of a brand guidebook. We'll look at kind of the visual, linguistic, and physical values of a brand. And we'll be understanding kind of the hero's journey as you develop kind of your messaging and your story for your customers. We'll learn how to deliver a strong elevator pitch. As you know, we'll be doing our pitches prior to this. Starting tomorrow, you'll all be going through your pitches. But on this particular week, we're going to be going over those in detail to help kind of build it up and strengthen it. Then we'll be looking at understanding elements of an investor or customer pitch deck, and then how to craft strong marketing copy and marketing messages. Okay? So deliverables for week 3, why is this not clicking? There we go, is drafting your, creating a bit of a rough draft of your brand guide. So this can just be sketched out. It doesn't have to be anything completely solidified. Some of you might even already have a brand guide if you've worked with a graphic designer. Omar, I'm assuming you probably already have one of these. So maybe Omar, you could help some of the others in this area because I know this will be your wheelhouse. We'd love to see a first written draft, an actual written draft of your elevator pitch. We'll want you to complete your storytelling growth wheel decision sheet for that week, and then completing your marketing message growth wheel decision sheet that week as well. Week 4 is about kind of marketing 101, digital marketing and communications. So new businesses have a huge need to obviously market yourself, especially when you're looking to draw kind of your first few customers' attention to get your new company and your new products and services out there. So, however, it is very typical for most startups and for yourselves that the resources that you might have to spend on marketing are super limited. It's usually one of your smaller budgets when you're first starting out, and it isn't until you kind of start making traction that you can really commit budget money to marketing. So in this week, we will look at how to develop a plan to market your business online and offline while getting the most for your money. So things we're going to be talking about here, this is probably going to be this week, and week 5 will be our most in-depth weeks. So here we're looking at defining and testing various marketing channels and building your marketing strategy and plan, learning how to create a marketing budget, how to set major marketing key performance indicators, making sure that you do understand what the 4 Ps are for your business, and understanding the various types of marketing promotions that you can be doing. Understanding the various types of digital marketing that are available to you. We're going to go over in depth over the Google Analytics platform and how you can use that to your advantage in your business, as well as learning elements of search engine marketing, as well as the Google Ads platform. We'll also discuss kind of effective SEO, which is search engine optimization. We're going to be looking at it from a tactical point of view. And then we're going to have a day around emotional intelligence and communication, learning elements of effective PR or public relations, as well as effective user experience and customer-centric design from an online perspective. So this can be for your website or it can be for your application design. And then lastly, understanding e-commerce essentials and the Shopify platform. All right. Deliverables that week. We really want to have an understanding of what marketing is to you and your business. So we'll go over an exercise for that. We want to see you starting to develop your marketing plan and your marketing budget. So just kind of get going on that. So a lot of this week is less about, anything finished. It's about just kind of getting started. And this week will be things you'll just be ongoing indefinitely, kind of forever. So we don't expect you to have complete finished deliverables from this, but we want to see that you're making efforts to get your marketing plan finished and move towards developing your budget, as well as a digital marketing plan. One thing that we'll want to see though is kind of what you choose for your marketing mix and your unique selling proposition. And then some finished items will be going through and actually, if you haven't, making sure your Google My Business page is set up and complete. And actually learning how to get on and start using Google Analytics. And then this week we'll also introduce HubSpot. Each of you are going to get your own discount. Really, you're going to get a free HubSpot account, and then you're going to have if you wanted to actually start adding in some of the more premium account services with HubSpot, you're going to get a 90% discount for the next year. So if anyone wants to take advantage of that, definitely let me know. We'll go over that in detail in that week. And then lastly, we're going to be talking a little bit around customization, and there'll be a homework sheet for that as well. Week 5.
Okay.
Week 5, yes.
Can we let our guest speakers?
Are they in? Are they here? Oh, okay.
Well, they're in the waiting room, but
In the waiting room? Yeah, sure.
So that's everything that you guys are going to do in July. So we're going to have our guest speakers come talk. We'll finish up the rest of that, and then we'll take probably a 15-minute break after that, if that works for you guys. Yeah? Okay, so I'm just going to admit our guest speakers to come bring some welcomes for you. There we go. They're just getting connected. Hi, Annette and Darlene. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, how are you?
We're great. How are you?
Good, good, awesome. It's so good to see everybody. So I'm Darlene, and I'm really excited to welcome all of you to Leap In this summer. I know it's unique. It's going to be challenging, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. Annette says she can't hear me, so hang on one second.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, well then it's a problem with Annette. So I think this is the largest cohort we've had, and I've read every one of your stories and read all about your businesses, and you're so diverse and so unique. It's super exciting. I just wanted to wish you all a really great incubator. I know you're going to become really wonderful friends because I've watched the past cohorts grow and become friends and support each other, and it's so nice to see such a diverse group. So I just wanted to wish you all the luck and tell you to have lots of fun, learn lots. This is going to be really valuable for you because we've watched the groups grow and the businesses grow over the past 5 years. So congratulations, and enjoy the incubator. David and Kelsey and Andre are rock stars. So I'm sure they've got an action-packed program for you all, and have fun. It's really nice to meet you. I can't wait to watch your journeys along the way. So I'm going to turn it over to Annette.
Not sure Annette can hear us. Darlene, real quick before you turn it over, do you want to tell the crew a little bit about who you are and what possible supports you could offer them maybe in the future as they continue on in their journey?
Sure. So I'm the Director of Employment and Student Entrepreneurial Services at Fanshawe. So what I'm responsible for is career services, so part-time employment, post-grad employment, Ignite Career Conference, everything career, everything jobs. I'm also responsible for cooperative education. I think there's a couple of co-op students in the group. Who are the co-op students? Kristen and Jesse. Right.
And Max, but he's on the phone.
Oh, and Max. Hi, Max. So I'm responsible for cooperative education, and I'm also responsible for Leap Junction, the oversight of Leap Junction. Kelsey's the manager, but ultimately I'm responsible for it because it's around jobs. And I'm also responsible for Community Employment Services, which is located at 155 Clark Road. And it's a free employment service for the public in London. It's managed through Employment Ontario. So those are the 4 areas that I'm responsible for. The reason that LEAP falls under my portfolio is because we believe that entrepreneurship is a career choice. And we have supported so many entrepreneurs over the past 5 years. It's been outstanding watching them all grow. And David actually is one of them, and so is Andre, that participated in the incubator in the past. So anytime after Leap In, if you have any career issues that you want to discuss or any supports that you need, feel free to reach out to any of our team. We're all available virtually through this crazy time that we're all living in. And we're also available on campus when we all go back to Fanshawe, which we hope will be someday in the not too distant future. So Kelsey, is that a good enough sort of background?
That's very lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Annette, can you hear now?
Oh, I've got earplugs in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what happened there. A million Zoom calls, so all of a sudden I can't hear anybody.
Annette, if you want to give them a bit of an introduction and bring your greetings, that would be great.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So thrilled to see you all here today. This is amazing. I know it's a very odd way of doing an incubator program, but I'm so proud of the LEAP team for pulling this together because they've worked really hard to try to give you an amazing experience, and I'm sure you will have one despite the odd circumstances. So to give you a bit of background, my name's Annette Markvoort, and I've actually been with the college in August. It will be 6 years. Many thanks to the lovely lady with the red hair, Darlene, who took a chance and let me join the college to start up the Entrepreneurship Center. So I don't know whether Darlene mentioned any of this, but there was funding given through the provincial government 5 years ago now, 7 years ago now actually, to give a boost to youth entrepreneurship. So there was money invested in all the colleges and universities across Ontario. And we were asked to set up an entrepreneurship center. So I had the distinct pleasure of being able to come to the college and to do just that. And so we developed the LEAP brand, and LEAP meaning leadership, entrepreneurship, alliance, and passion. And LEAP In is, of course, the very concentrated entrepreneurship boot camp. Anyway, so it was an amazing journey for me, and I got to take all these great ideas and work with all of these young student entrepreneurs and build lots of things that are still in existence with LEAP today, pitch competitions, and this one here, LEAP In, is definitely the one closest to my heart. So I'm thrilled that it's continuing and that all of you get a chance to really dive deep into your passions, into the work that you want to do, and get a chance to really give it a kickstart and make things real for you in terms of entrepreneurship. Since starting up the Entrepreneurship Center, I've now moved on. I'm now manager of Innovation Village, which is another exciting project here on campus. Well, there on campus. And it's actually virtual too. There's lots of great things around innovation that are happening at the college. I won't take too much time. If you're interested in that, maybe there's another time I can come back and talk to you about what the Innovation Village is and how it can help you and benefit you going forward as well. But I'm really privileged again to be able to work with this amazing project. It's a $55 million build, as well as a philosophy that's being integrated throughout the college. So, and just a bit of background. I actually was an entrepreneur for many, many years. I had my own company, which was an event management company, and did sort of was more like a boutique agency. We did everything from the communications and marketing right through to delivery. And I had the pleasure of working with some really great companies, HomeSense, so the TGX brand, Shoppers Drug Mart, worked very extensively with Skate Ontario, Skate Canada, and many others. But I got to do some pretty creative, unique stuff. So I was very pleased to be part of that, part of my journey as well. I guess that's it. Welcome.
Annette? So both Darlene and Annette's contact information will be on the platform. So if you have questions for them or ever want to ask them anything about some of their expertise or some of the things they've shared, I'm going to speak for them and say that I'm sure they would be honored and thrilled to be able to be a part of your journey. And both of them were, well, more than instrumental. They actually are the ones that built this program and set it up. So we're really excited to be part of that journey and to continue it on with our first ever online offering of it. So thank you both so much for taking some time and welcoming us. You'll probably pop in again and visit us other times as they both actually, when we are physically together, Annette works actually in the Leap Junction space with us, and Darlene frequently visits as she does oversee our center. So hopefully if you have any questions, you can reach out to them again. Ladies, thanks so much for your time. You're welcome to stick around and continue listening if you'd like. We understand you have busy days, so if you need to leave us, please feel free to do so. Does anyone have any questions for Annette or Darlene before they go?
Not a question. Just want to say thank you, ladies, for everything you do. Name's Tyler French, Chippewa Thames First Nation, and it's a privilege to meet both of us and look forward to building a relationship with you guys in the future. So, Chimagwech, thank you.
You're welcome, Tyler. I read your bio, and I'm pretty excited to see your center come to life. So congratulations on being in the incubator. It's absolutely fabulous.
It doesn't happen without people like yourself taking a chance on this, guys. So I just want to say thank you for believing in me. I won't let you down.
We've never been let down by any one of the single entrepreneurs that have walked through this incubator. So, and you're going to experience, I can't wait till the end so I can see the growth and the engagement, because it's pretty quiet this morning. It's the first day and you're all virtual. But at the end, I can guarantee you that you will all be really good friends and really supportive of each other. So just have a great time, learn lots, grow your businesses, and you're going to be introduced to some pretty dynamic supports. So good luck, congratulations, and enjoy. I'm going to sign out, but again, Annette and I are very, very proud of you, and we're so proud of Kelsey and David and Andre for the work that they've done. It's phenomenal. So congratulations, everybody.
Thanks, Darlene.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to ask, are you going to go around the room and have everybody talk about their business? Because I'm very interested in hearing all of that, if that's going to happen at some point.
You know what? We did an icebreaker this morning, but we didn't actually get the fun job of everybody going through and doing their value proposition this morning. We would have been working on that in our catch-up calls. So yeah, if you guys are up for it, if you'd like to, I'll call your name and we can go around and do the quick 60-second version of who we are in our business so that we can introduce ourselves to Darlene and Annette. I think that would be very valuable.
That would be awesome.
Thanks. I'm going to go in reverse from what I did last time. So Max, I know you're on the phone, but if you can let me know that you can hear me, I'd like you to go first.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Max.
Hello, so my name is Maxwell. I'm the owner of Face to Face Vintage, and I sell a curated collection of used and vintage clothing. I specialize in the vintage aspect. I'm trying to actively create a more eco-friendly solution to fast fashion online. Fast fashion is doing terrible things to our environment, so I'm trying to rewrite the narrative of how people shop online. Yeah, that's my business. I'm working on my business proposition, as you can tell, but hopefully by the end of it, I'll have it down to a T. I'm super excited for this cohort. But yeah, that's my business.
Thanks, Max. And Max is on a road trip right now doing some sourcing, so that's why he's joining us on the phone today.
Okay.
Jocelyn, you're next.
Okay, so my name's Jocelyn, and I am the owner of Aster and Lily Photography. I'm a wedding photographer based in London, and my purpose is to kind of create a safe and comfortable environment for camera shy couples to express their love for each other and to help them create tangible memories that'll last for a lifetime.
Great work, Jocelyn. You've been doing some work on that. Sounds great.
Yeah. I did a there's this girl called Words by Jill in London, and she talks about copywriting for creatives. So I've been trying to do her online course and really streamline what I want to do.
What was that called again?
It's Words by Jill, and it's called the Client Attraction Academy.
Oh, cool.
She'll actually be joining us for a workshop.
Oh yeah, she's really good. I've spoken to her before, and she's like really nice. So I'm sure if we reached out to her, she'd be more than happy to do that. She has like 4 modules on like how to write website copy, how to create like value propositions and stuff like that. So it's a pretty comprehensive course that she put together.
Excellent. Thanks, Jocelyn. Kelly, I have you up next. You're muted, Kelly.
Sorry, I'm muted. Nice to meet you, Darlene and Annette. My name's Kelly. So I run a company called Studio KBR, which is a ceramics and light design company. I created it out of a need to kind of like make pieces alternative to, I guess, like the fast fashion, like of like products. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like basically IKEA is like the fast fashion of like the design world. So I try to create pieces that are unique yet affordable. So I have a range in prices, and that's kind of what I do. I am still working on this pitch, and so I'm very sorry. But yeah, I hand build and I throw on the wheel and make everything from clay by hand. So that's what I do.
By the time you're done, Kelly, you'll have that pitch down. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm still working on it and kind of getting over my fear of public speaking and stuff. So
thank you, Kelly. Aaron and Omar, I'm going to get you guys to go back to back. So Aaron and Omar are business partners. Aaron, you first, and then Omar following.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm the owner of Fast Track, and we're currently working on an app for delivery drivers to help them optimize and plan routes for them, just to help them save time, the environment, and make life a little bit easier.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. As some of you might know, my name is Omar Hashimi. I'm a graphic designer, originated in London, Ontario. I'm the co-founder of Fast Track with Aaron, my business partner and close friend. And I'm more of the face of the company. So what I do is the advertising, the application design, that kind of stuff. And we're really excited to launch soon.
Thanks, Fast Track.
How many days, guys? I've been watching your Instagram. What are we at now?
20 days.
20 days. Okay.
20 days.
Down.
Pressure's on. Thanks, guys. Chintan, can you go next for us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Chintan Shah, and I'm the founder of Greenovation Eco Dinnerware, based in London, Ontario. Our eco-friendly dinnerware is made of naturally fallen leaves. So it's just naturally leaves that's fallen and steam pressed and dried, and they're an alternative to plastic and paper plates. So our mission is to replace plastic plates or styrofoam plates with eco-friendly, biodegradable product that's truly sustainable and good for environment.
Thanks, Chintan. Tyler.
So my name's Tyler French, Chippewa Thames First Nation, and I'm the owner of Celebration Event Facility and Museum. It's going to be based out of Chippewa Thames First Nation, which is located 30 minutes west of London. And it's going to be First Nation owned and operated. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Indigenous artifacts with a little hint of hockey and Star Wars mixed inside. And my goal is to make life experiences more enjoyable without going into financial debt. And all religions, races, sexes are welcome. And what we're going to do is recently purchase 12 acres of land, and I'm looking to build relationships in the wedding industry. Miigwech.
Thanks, Tyler. You've also been working on that. That sounds great. Jesse. You're muted, Jesse.
There you go. Hi everyone, I'm Jesse Long. I'm the owner of the Hot Sauce Company. It's a London-based premium hot sauce company. Our mission is to provide sustainable, all-natural products to those who are willing to experience something fresh and exciting in flavor.
Thanks, Jesse. Kristen.
Hey guys, nice to meet you. My name's Kristen. I'm the creator of Soul Runners. So we teach guided running programs and boot camp programs to people of all fitness levels. Our goal is to create a safe, non-judgmental place for everyone to go when they want to burn some calories and build some meaningful relationships.
Thanks, Kristen. That sounds great. And Suraj, last but not least. Oh, you're muted. Yep.
Everyone, my name is Swaraj. I'm the co-founder of Taxably. Yes. So Taxably is a tech-based accounting firm where it's focused on a paperless approach, where clients will be able to submit their information electronically from the comfort of their home, rather than going into a tax place and standing in lines and wasting all of your day. We have created this platform in a very protected manner, and we kept in mind that it will be used mostly by non-accountants. So it's very straightforward. It's one question at a time so that everyone understands what they're doing and they have a better knowledge of the financial situation and what actually they're doing, and not just depending on their accountants. So our mission and vision for the future is to able to grow to a company that not only provide services to individuals, but also other accountants and also other businesses as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Suraj. And Suraj also has a business partner, Akash, who occasionally will pop in, but mostly it's Suraj that's joining us full time.
Before,
oh, go ahead, Andre.
I just want to make sure before Darlene and Annette leave, I just wanted to get a quick photo of all of us together. So just remind me if you have more to say, please go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you, but yeah.
I just had something to say. I'm super impressed with the diversity of the businesses that are here. And you may think that a cohort with all these different businesses is not beneficial for you. I would say it's extremely beneficial for you. And I'm sure that Kelsey and Dave and Andre will, I'm presuming at some point, introduce you to some of the other earlier cohorts. And ultimately, I think what is great, what has often happened to me when I was an entrepreneur, was that I was isolated, head down, just doing my own thing, and kind of out of touch with a lot of other things. And I think what the really beneficial thing about this cohort is that you have each other. Make sure you lean on each other, and make sure you spend time talking to each other and encouraging each other, because that's what you don't get when you work in an office with lots of other people that are there to support you and bounce ideas off of. But that's what you get here with this cohort. And we have found with the last, what have we got now? Is this your fourth? Is this our fourth or fifth? The fourth cohort. The other three are they still talk to each other. They still call each other. They still support each other. And I think that's the real benefit and the gift that you get with Leap In. So make sure you take advantage of that and meet the others in the other cohorts, because they're equally as open to sharing with you the experiences that they have had.
And I just wanted to say how impressed I am with the high level of social responsibility that everybody is speaking about. I love this. You guys are creating the future. So seize the moment. I'm so proud of you. I could just weep, honestly.
And she will.
Well, I'll cry. I've been on social media all weekend trying to get one of the original cohorts to win a contest she's been in. So, yeah, you guys all sort of grab a little piece of my heart and never let go. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks so much for going the rounds, Kelsey. I really appreciate that. So
no problem. That was a great time to do it, actually, because we hadn't done it yet this morning. So, and we did promise them that they would have to do it every single day. All right. Well, Darlene, Annette, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead, Darlene.
Oh, I was just going to say, have a great day. I'm going to sign off. I will pop in from time to time just because I'm super nosy and really want to watch you progress. So have fun. I know it's going to be a lot of time on Zoom, but it's the best way to do it right now. So it's the only way to connect. So get connected, enjoy Kelsey and Andre and David and the program they have in store for you. It's pretty special. So have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Andre, would it be possible to send me kind of what you guys have planned so that I can zip in and out where I can?
Yeah, I don't see why not. David made the schedule. I don't know. It's more of a question for him, I think.
David?
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to invite each of you to our online platform, so you can.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see all the content and the daily schedules. So.
Okay, perfect.
That'll be the best. I can send you the full overview schedule too. But
yeah. If you do that, then I can take a quick look and then make sure that sounds great.
I'll send you each a personal invite to our new Leap In online platform.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Sounds
And
fantastic.
I like sharing it with the senior leadership in the college, just so we can brag about the awesome work that you guys are doing. Andre, did you get your picture?
No, I was about to ask everyone to put their camera on. So ready, I will tell you when.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, ready, 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye all. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us, ladies. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, team, we're going to jump right back in. Dave's going to go over the last 3 weeks kind of in detail, and then we'll take about a 10-minute break so you can get a drink, stretch your legs, pet your dog, and then we'll come back after that. So Dave, over to you.
Okay, let me just go back to my screen here. Okay, can everybody see? This is program outline week 5. We're good? Okay. Sorry guys, this is not the fun part of the program, but it's important you understand it all. Again, if you have questions, let me know. So week 5 puts us at the beginning of August. So there is one day in this week that we will miss. That is the civic holiday. So there is a Tuesday that we are missing. So, sorry, not a Tuesday, that's a Monday. There is a Monday that we're missing. That we won't get back, but we've built it into the program, so no biggie there. But just make sure you know that we are not meeting on that holiday Monday at the beginning of August. So week 5 is all about sales planning, sales strategy, sales process, and sales negotiation. There may be a little fluctuation. Some of our speakers are kind of juggling their schedules. So week 5 and week 6 may shift a little bit, but don't worry about that. We'll let you know. So content here, as you guys know, most entrepreneurs in the beginning do not always feel that they're great at selling. Or perhaps they are more interested in developing, presenting, or delivering products or services than actually selling them. This is pretty common. I am one of those people as well. Sales is always a bit of a difficult skill to acquire because people have a bit of a fear to develop that skill. Nobody wants to be bad at sales. So this whole week is going to be about making you better at it. And in order to get better at it, you have to have a good understanding of the different elements of it. So we will focus in this week on getting better at assuming the role of the salesperson and getting more orders by learning to strengthen your sales cycle, planning sales activities, working on your customer pipeline, preparing for objections that you might get from leads and prospects, and defining the company's service offerings. So content that we're looking at in this week is learning the elements of a successful sales plan and strategy, learning how to create a sales budget, understanding key elements in your business-to-business and business direct-to-consumer sales strategies. We're going to learn how to develop an effective sales process and how to apply that to your company, and understand how to create a sales funnel, as well as learning how to negotiate effectively through actual practice and exercises where we'll look at how to negotiate with clients and customers. And then lastly, we'll have a supplementary course that you guys can go through as well, which is is an all-encompassing sales course. And that'll be provided by Mars as well. And the content there is really awesome. They have experts from huge organizations And it's not just for tech-based businesses, because Mars is typically a tech kind of facilitator organization, but the course is really dynamic, and it is applicable for all of your businesses. So ton of value in there, and it's really good supplementary learning for you to kind of take with you as you go along. So this week, what we're hoping that you're going to develop is kind of your sales kit. So if you're the only one in your business right now, you need to get better at sales regardless. And hopefully this week will leave you with a really better understanding of how to effectively approach sales. Okay. The deliverables that we're looking at in this week is there'll be some decision sheets, activity sheets that are around developing your sales activity plan. And then we just want to see you start to develop your actual sales plan and sales budget. So you'll have templatized documents to go with this. You're not going to have to completely make it from scratch, but I'd like to see you start to use them and start to actually put some numbers down around planning for sales, doing sales forecasting and budgeting. All right. Week 6 is all about financials. So you may have obviously super solid business right now, and a great opportunity that you've kind of recognized. But if you don't understand your financials really well, then you can run the risk of failure down the road. So this week, we'll give you a basic understanding of financial tools, key metrics, and strategies on increasing the company's profitability. So this week is going to maybe a little bit out of your wheelhouse for many of you, probably not Siraj, I'm guessing. This is maybe your time to shine in this week. So you may have some of the other cohort looking to you and asking questions, which is great. So what we're going to be going over here in this week is understanding business financial basics. So we're going to be looking at things like startup costs, sales projections, cash flow, cost structure, understanding your income statement, balance sheet. We're going to look at a series of financial planning tools and financial models as well. You're going to want to have good understanding of your key financial metrics for your business, understanding early sources of capital that may be available to you, and then bootstrapping in your business. We'll also, in this week, be bringing in someone to, Siraj, I know this is your area, but we have an awesome presenter coming in. This is Kelsey's husband, who's done this presentation for us in the past around understanding small business taxation. And then there will be a lot of extra online content for this week, because we don't expect you to become financial wizards in a couple of days. That is crazy to think that that's going to happen. So this area is going to be, there's going to be a lot of support through online extras. So there is a Startup Financials course from Mars on here. We have a really fun financial fundamentals game that you can kind of play at your own pace that's developed by Business Development Bank of Canada. So those are going to be supplementals. So a lot of stuff there as you're kind of going to build your financial literacy in your business. You can kind of keep doing this at your own pace. All right.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yes.
So I just want to give a little bit of a warning on this one. Financials tends to be, and it's not going to be the same for everyone, tends to be something that people don't know a ton about, but need to know a ton about. So please, please, please do not slack on this week. It's going to be for most of you, the most uncomfortable week as you look at things, and they're not going to be things you like. And I do it too. When I have to do spreadsheets, I'm like, really, do I have to? But it's so, so important. So make sure you really commit to this week as much as you can.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. Because of what Kelsey just said, yes, this is going to be uncomfortable for some of you. So the deliverables for this week are a bit light. We actually are going to give you time to work on your pitch presentation video, because on our final day, we are going to be doing a bit of what we call a demo day, typically at the end of an accelerator and incubator. The final day is usually called a demo day. It's an opportunity for you to kind of showcase your business and the things you've worked on over that period of time, and showcase it to a larger audience and potential networking, potential larger network opportunities. Usually it's done in person, and this year we obviously can't do that. So we're going to have everybody pre-record a pitch presentation video. So week 6 might be a good time to kind of get started on recording that video, start to think about what you want to include in it, as well as starting to map out your personal financial statements for your business. So if there's any statements that are missing that you haven't actually done, this will be the time to start approaching those and getting better acquainted and making sure you're asking a lot of questions of our presenters and speakers and gaining, using that as a good opportunity to expand your knowledge base around your financials. So the second half of week 6, so it is kind of split. There is a second part, and this is around community building, social purpose business, as well as diversity and inclusion. So when starting out as entrepreneurs, your personal networks are extremely critical. It is through your network that we not only get information, which helps us start and develop our companies, but also our first customers typically. So here we will discuss how to cultivate, maintain, and grow a strong supportive network. But we will also spend some time with our partners at Pillar Nonprofit and Innovation Works, who will teach us about social purpose business models and the importance of diversity and inclusion in our businesses. So we will have a community building panel discussion that Andre is preparing for us. It's going to be a really great opportunity to have multiple speakers coming in at the same time. So really great opportunity to ask a lot of questions. We're going to talk about network mapping and different networking activities and how to do contact maintenance. And then we're going to be looking at the flourishing business model canvas as well. And then the rest of our diversity inclusion workshop. So that is still in development, what we're fully going to have with Pillar Nonprofit. But we've gone through their workshops in the last few years. Usually this is one of our favorite weeks, actually. We usually spend this entire week at Innovation Works in their physical space. So we're going to try to bring as much of that experience to a virtual kind of online platform as possible. But I definitely hope that when things do go back to normal, that as a crew, as a group, we can actually all go there and take a tour, have a coffee, even a beer at Innovation Works in the future. So, and that brings us to week 7. So week 7, oh, sorry, this is week 6 deliverables on the screen still. So we just have a network map and a contact list. So if you've never actually created one, we're going to go through and actually build one of those. And then week 7 is around funding, company structure and legal issues, and then health and wellness. So in this week, we will first discuss, finding the best ways of financing and funding expansion in your business. We'll look at different financing options, preparing information for and negotiating with a lender, exploring alternative investment opportunities, and reviewing current and future risks in the business around financing and lending. Secondly, we will cover legal requirements of the business, such as required legal documents, selecting a legal structure for your company if you haven't already done so, renegotiating contracts, and ensuring compliance with laws and regulations. Finally, we'll round out the week and the program with the day of health and wellness in our business, and we will hear from other entrepreneurs and their struggle to find work-life balance. And then we will also get moving away from our desks and using kind of other muscles besides our brains that day as well. Because after 7 weeks of a lot of sitting and a lot of Zoom time, I'm sure moving is going to be something we haven't done much of. So there'll also be opportunities throughout the program too to join us a little earlier in the day. If you're up early, 8:30 kind of desk chair yoga. We'll do some other kind of exercises as well, kind of randomly throughout the program to get us kind of moving and working. I don't expect Kelly, I know you might be a little sleepy at that time of day, but yeah, there'll be opportunities for us to kind of get a little exercise in here too. So deliverables that week 7, oh, these are the same ones. I just accidentally copy and pasted that, so that's the same one. But the deliverable for that week is literally going to be your pitch presentation for that week as well. Okay, and so we'll need to see your pitch presentation video ahead of time to make sure that it's complete and it's timely, because we're gonna have to pack a lot of videos into a short period of time. So that'll mainly be what we'll be doing that week. So finalizing your pitch and finalizing your pitch presentation video. And that brings us to August 20th, which is our virtual demo day. So part graduation ceremony and part group pitch presentation. So it's a great opportunity for us to showcase and unveil all your hard work that you guys have all put in during the accelerator. Everyone will have an opportunity to kind of publicly debut their company through a 3-minute pre-recorded pitch video. The videos will be presented to our audience of Leap Junction alumni, Fanshawe College staff, your family and friends can be invited to this as well, and our entrepreneurial support organizations as well will be joining us. So this is to allow for networking, and we will pre-organize kind of Zoom breakout rooms for each of your companies. And this will allow our audience members to meet you and ask any questions about your company that they may have. It'll be a great day kind of designed to celebrate all of you, your business, and all the hard work and dedication you've put in throughout the program. All right, so with that, we're gonna head online, but I think we're taking a break right now, Kelsey. So when we come back from our break here, we're gonna take a tour of the new online platform and get you guys familiar with that. And we'll start looking at today's homework and yeah, we'll head off from there. So Kelsey, anything you wanna add before we take a little break?
No, let's, this is probably going to be our major mid-morning break. So come back at 11, get up, stretch your legs, and we will start diving into the online platform at 11 a.m. So we'll see you then. You can leave the meeting or you
Zoom, which I clearly know how to use very well. But I was very excited because I brought home my big fancy computer from my studio. So now I can use it for Leap In, and it's so much faster than my other one. So that's why I was like trying to get on the Zoom call in here, because look how much, I think Kelsey and Dave can attest to how blurry my other camera was. So
I was noticing it's far better today.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen. Is this like anybody's first time ever using Zoom? Like not today, but just in general for the Tyler, okay. Nobody else? Cool, okay, that's good. So some of this stuff might sound very basic, but I don't know, I just want to talk about it because I think it's useful to know. So I'm just going to give a little Zoom etiquette overview. So obviously the first thing you want to do before you join any calls is just make sure that your stuff works. As you can tell by me this morning, I was like scrambling because I thought it would be simple and easy, and that's what everyone thinks, and then it's not. So yeah, just make sure your mic works, your camera works. Like we talked about, we really want you to be visible during the whole accelerator. So it'll really help kind of us get closer together and know each other better if we can see each other's faces. So yeah, you want to make sure everything's working. Avoid distractions, so your phone, anything that's going to kind of make you look away from the presentation or not pay attention to whoever's presenting. It's good to kind of put those away so you can be absorbing all the information that's going to be given. Those of you who did get a notebook, sorry for the two that didn't, but I actually did a notebook specifically for Leap In. So I had all my information that I learned in one spot. And I also obviously had it in other places when I needed to use it somewhere else, but it is really nice to have it in one spot. And I do suggest either if you're going to use the notebook or not, or if you want to use some kind of online document, to just have it all in one place, because it's really nice to go back and reference whatever you learned. If you break it up into days, how are we going to do it? We are going to release some of that. Like we're going to try and summarize some of the information for you, but you know, I prefer my own notes over anybody else's. So yeah, I do suggest doing that. For the actual Zoom calls, I always try and mute myself when somebody else is speaking, and unmute myself when I want to speak. I know like right now we'll have those like, can you hear me, or you're muted, and we'll have a lot of those, but you'll eventually get better at realizing that you have to unmute yourself every time you want to say something. Mostly this helps for background noise. Actually, I live in a very noisy area, so there's a lot of fire trucks, cop cars, stuff like that go by because I live near downtown. So I hate that I interrupt people when that happens. So yeah, just mute your microphone before, and then just unmute it when you want to speak. The chat is a really great tool if you do not want to unmute yourself. I've had in lots of Zoom calls or webinars where people that's what they use to communicate. And it's just as useful if you have questions that can be referenced later. You can say, oh, hello, you can answer this at the end. Here's my question. anything like that. So the chat is a really great way to do that. You can also message people privately on it. So if you need to ask one of us a specific question during a webinar, you can do that without interrupting the speaker. So there is the option of doing that. You can click any of our photos and it'll give you a private chat option, and then you can message us, okay? Yeah, like I said, be on camera. It'll be a lot more fun that way. It'll help the speakers feel more engaged. So it's really hard to read a room if you can't see the faces. So that's why we encourage you to have your camera on, and it'll help our guests as well as speakers as well. Pick a spot in your apartment, house, wherever it is, where you get lots of natural light. It's a great space to work in, and also it'll help your video calls look a little nicer as well. Dress the part. So if you don't have your official Leap In t-shirt on, just dress appropriately. You know, you pretend you're in a either casual or semi-casual business setting. Yeah, it's just good to represent yourself that way. Be ready and on time. So if you are presenting at all, if you're sharing information, have your stuff ready before, be ready on time, and be on the Zoom call on time. A few minutes makes a huge difference if people just sitting there in front of their screens. Like, you really feel every single minute. So yeah, don't make people wait on Zoom calls. I'm not super great at this, but I'm trying to get better at it. Your workspace, so where you have your computer, is important to have a nice tidy space to work from, but also just in general, like your background, be aware of what people are seeing of your home. So make sure it's tidy. If you want privacy, I used to face like just a blank wall, you can do that. If you want to get really fancy, you can buy a backdrop like Dave did and do fancy backgrounds on Zoom, but that's up to you. But just make sure it is kind of tidy and reflects a tidy workspace. And more than anything, just have fun, like be on here, be on with a good attitude, ready to learn, interact with others. You know, it's really already hard to engage an audience in general, like even in person, let alone when we're on computers. So yeah, do your part. You know, our presenters are going to work hard to create something like interesting for you to see online. We're working hard to create something interesting for you to see online. So you have to meet us halfway essentially and interact with it and really learn from it. So yeah, also being like in front of a computer all day is a lot on your body. Even just sitting a long time is bad for you. So we're trying to incorporate breaks like you see, but yeah, stand up, stretch. You'll see me stretch on camera all the time. I'll do it, I don't care. It's really good for you. Stretch your shoulders and your back and stuff, and have some water nearby. Just take care of yourself while you're on the computer the whole day. Yeah, and so that's it on Zoom. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of one of our initiatives, which is, sorry, just want to turn off screen sharing. Here we go. We want to feature you on our social media channels. So obviously you've seen it happening now as we announced the cohort. So I'm announcing each of you and a little bit about your business. I just took the descriptions that you guys sent me a few weeks ago. But if you do want anything specific in there with that post, please let me know. So I'm going to be sending out a media kit today with all those similar posts that you can post on your own profiles as well. So you each have one with a little bio and a photo of you. We'll be sending kind of like a list of hashtags that we typically use for the account and things that I think would be beneficial for you to tag on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're posting. And then there's some that will be more specific to your specific industry or your business, which I'll leave up to you to find out. But we'll be sending that in the media kit. You'll also get all the logos for Leap Junction and Leap In. So if you do want to include that anywhere, I know previous clients of ours have put it on their websites or anything like that. We will be sending that to you so you can use it as well if you want. And yeah, so I'll be sending that out today. That's the media kit. And then another idea we're exploring were short videos that we want to feature on our social media. So we will be posting like snippets of our recordings of the Zoom calls, maybe some like small anecdotes from the presenters, but we also want to feature you specifically. So I know most of you are literally working from your houses. Some of you don't have like a fancy area, but we are looking for something like 30 seconds to 60 seconds of like a little insight on your business or on your life. So if you wanted to do like a little like tour of your day of what you do, the kind of tasks, like I know for some people it'll be fun. You'll have more chances to do something more interesting. Like Kristen can take a video while she's out on one of her like boot camps or a run with a client, you know, anything like that. So we encourage you to be a little creative if you can. But yeah, I'll send out a list of it'll be one person per week that we'll be featuring. So yeah, I'll give you some time to think about it, and we'll post it on like later in the week. So the person who has this week doesn't have to give me theirs today unless they have it ready. But yeah, and if you also need some inspiration, just let me know. I can hop on a quick Zoom call with you and we can talk about it, and I can see if I can help you come up with some interesting idea that might help. I think that's actually all I had to say. So if I missed anything, please let me know, Kelsey and Dave. Nope.
Do we want to talk about the vlog journals?
Oh, sorry, I got confused.
That's okay.
I actually don't have anything formal to say about that.
Okay.
Do you have anything to expand on it?
Yeah, I guess I can take it, no problem. So what we're considering doing this year, guys, typically in the past, we always, we made it a deliverable was to have kind of like a weekly journal submission, just kind of covering what you learned from the week, insights from the week, things like that. And we would submit it online. This year, since we're doing video, we're just going to kind of keep in that trend. So at the end of every week, on the, by end of day Thursday or morning of Friday, so it'll be like a 9 a.m. deadline by Friday, we just want you guys to submit a 30-second to 1 minute video log about like something you learned that week or an interesting insight, whatever you want, just kind of in your own kind of style and format. You can do it with Zoom like this, so you can just click record at the bottom of your screen, do it this way. You use your phone and do a selfie record, however you're most comfortable, and then we'll just post them up. It'll go into the homework deliverable tab for the week as well. So it's going to encourage you guys to get in front of a camera and kind of talk to yourself. Talking to your audience, talking to your community is definitely a really great way to communicate, your business, your brand to your clients and your customers. And it's becoming a much more popular way to communicate. We're seeing this trend increasing massively right now due to COVID-19. So the more comfortable you can kind of get with that, I think this would be good practice. So these are kind of just little practice journals, but the goal is to kind of get you comfortable and in front of that camera. And don't worry, we won't be sharing these with anybody. These stay private and just within our group, okay?
Yeah, and to kind of build on that, so before we had reflective questions for you, we're leaving it a little bit free form. So if you want to spend your 30 seconds talking about one thing that one presenter said, that's great. If you want to use the 30 seconds, just kind of recap a little bit of what happened in the week. And the point is that at the end, you'll have probably, if we stitch it all together, somewhere between a 4 and 7 minute video, and you can just see your own learning through that process. We're also documenting this as heavily as we can. 1, because it's the first time we've done it, so we want to take all the best practices we can. But 2, most of you have seen our blog on our website, so those reflections of yours are going to really help with some generating of content, and any reflections that you have that you're willing to share can go in, and we can kind of collaboratively write that blog together. So that would be really great. Since I'm the one that has to write the blog, I'd like all the help that I can because I hate blog writing. So, learning for me. But yeah, this is going to be a really great opportunity for you to just, talk to the camera, tell us a little bit about what you're learning, what you've liked, and what we can change to continue to make it better. Awesome. Okay, so I think now's a great time for another little break. So let's come back at noon, and then we'll probably have about an hour's more content for you, and then we'll get you out of here by about 1 o'clock. All right. So I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Bye.
Kelsey?
Yeah.
Oh, can you stick here just for a sec?
Yep, I saw your message.
Okay.
Or if you're more comfortable pre-filming a video and playing it, that's okay too. We just want you to get practiced presenting something to a group. However, because these need to be presented starting this week, we're going to have 2 of you present each Thursday morning. And that means that we're going to have somebody presenting this Thursday morning. So to make that fair, I'm going to ask if anybody would prefer to go this week. And then after that, I'm just going to spin the wheel to see the order that we go in. So do I have any volunteers that would like to go first?
Looks like Jesse just volunteered.
Oh, sorry, go to Jesse.
What are we volunteering for? Like, we can just do the 5-minute presentation, like how we're doing it right now. We don't have to record.
No,
we
you can just talk.
Yeah, okay, then sign up. I'll go first, wherever you want me to.
Okay, so Tyler and Jesse.
It's fine.
Wonderful. So Tyler and Jesse, you're going to go this Thursday. So you'll be ready to present at about 9:30 a.m., okay?
So,
anyone else want to get it over with in week 2? Kristen? And Suraj for week 2, all right.
I'll give it a go week 3 too.
Omar for week 3, okay. Aaron, would you like to present on the same day so that you guys can do it together?
Kelly said week 3.
Oh, Kelly, okay. So Omar and Kelly week 3. And then Omar and Aaron, let's do yours together, and together, if you guys want to present together or separately, let's say together you guys have to do 8 minutes. Does that work? Okay, so Omar and Aaron and Kelly on week 3. I don't need my fun wheel thing here anymore, guys. Any other volunteers?
I'll go.
Max, week 4, thank you.
I think Chintan has his hand raised too.
Okay, Chintan, week 4.
Yep.
And I think the rest of them actually aren't here. All right, so Andre, you can put Charlene and Jared on week 5 and Jocelyn on week 6 for us. Okay, I'm gonna use this wheel at some point to do something fun though, because I found it and just like, it's called Wheel Decide, and I think that's really fun. So don't worry, the wheel will be back with all of the fun that comes with that. So with that in mind, we're gonna jump right into our presentation here.
We're about to get real professional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna email you the list, okay?
That would be great. Thank you. Okay, team. So I just want to chat with you really quickly about some of the etiquette that we're going to expect for you, and just have a really quick conversation around ensuring that as you're operating your business, especially for the majority of you who are either partnerships or sole proprietors and don't have staff, ensuring that you're interacting professionally with your clients. Sometimes it's hard when your business is first starting out to delineate where your personal life ends and your professional life begins. So we're just going to talk about some accepted best practices of staying professional and some pitfalls to avoid as you're continuing your journey, making sure that you're being a respected business professional as you're operating as a sole proprietorship or partnership. So real quick, some things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about...
Okay. Sorry, I think you have it on the wrong screen. We're still on the wheel.
Thank you. 1 moment, please. Can you see that? Can you guys see my screen?
Nothing yet.
Because you have started screen sharing, but then it doesn't show anything, so that's weird.
Sandra, you can skip to the second slide. I already did my introduction. Okay, so a quick overview of what we're going to chat about today. We're going to talk about preparing, so ensuring that you're starting your day and thinking about professionalism and your etiquette. We'll talk a little bit about communications and specifically mediums of communication and what's appropriate for what. Etiquette for meetings, etiquette for presentations. We'll touch briefly on ethics and conflict resolution, and then we'll give you a time to have a bit of a wrap up and some discussion. Next. Nope, other way. Thanks. Okay, so real quick, just a kind of a definition of what we're talking about when we're talking about professional conduct. Essentially what I'm really hoping that you all are going to be able to do, I hope you already do already, but by being professional, we demonstrate to our customer and to our stakeholders that we are competent, reliable, and respectable. It shows us that we're qualified to operate the business that we are operating by conducting ourselves in a manner that shows our skills, knowledge, and abilities. We stay on topic in business meetings and try and keep our personal lives and relationships mostly separate. And I put that in brackets there because obviously for many of you, your personal networks are what are going to be the starting foundation of your networking for your business. And that doesn't mean that you need to completely forget all of the relationships you have and the history you have in those relationships, but trying to conduct business in business practices during business hours with business language is going to be important, even if you are talking to your mom. So trying to make sure that we are demonstrating that we're competent, reliable, and respectful as we conduct our business. So you and a friend may have a really great bond over really raunchy comedy, but during a business meeting is not the time to discuss that. And we're going to talk about some of those kind of ground rules as we move forward. Next. Thanks. So at the beginning of each day, some things that you want to consider as you're getting ready to have a professional day. So the first thing that is always good when you're preparing is to figure out your attendance. So as you're embarking on your professional lives, at the start of your day, figuring out where you need to be and understanding how you're going to get there. Now, for right now, obviously, we're all meeting virtually, so that's making sure that your phone or computer are charged and plugged in, that you have access to internet as best as you can, and understanding where the link is and how to find it for the next day. Punctuality, Andre already touched on this, on being on time. Preparation, making sure that you have things done by the start of the day that need to be done. So making sure that you're not just checking every morning, oh, what's my homework for this day? You should have done that the night before. So you're preparing to be able to engage in an active discussion when we all come together. And when you come to business meetings, you should be prepared for those meetings. Chris Hadfield has a great quote that says, I only don't prepare when I'm prepared to fail. So if you are willing to fail at a business meeting, then fine. You don't need to do any preparations, but if you're totally fine with whatever the outcome is, then preparation isn't required. But at these early stages of your business, it's going to be really important that you're prepared and that you make every business meeting count. Especially in today's standards, you need to make sure that you have the appropriate dress, hygiene, and PPE as we go forward. PPE is personal protective equipment. So if you're going out to a business meeting or you're maybe selling at the market, you need to make sure that you have your mask and you need to make sure that you have the PPE required to keep people comfortable. Likewise, some of you might be going into seeing your suppliers. Max, maybe you're going into warehouses. You need to make sure you have those steel-toed boots and those things. And showing respect for those guidelines really is going to show that you are professional and you understand the industry that you're in. And along with that, respecting the rules and the laws. So as a small business, you know, there's sometimes rules and laws that may seem like they shouldn't apply to you or that they're just more work than they're worth. But as a professional, it's really important that we respect those rules and guidelines, especially with our suppliers and stakeholders, to ensure that we're making sure that we have respected those people's rules to show that we are a professional and we understand why those rules are in place. You want to make sure that you know those rules and regulations, especially if you're physically going to a place and they have maybe a sign-in procedure or something like that as you visit suppliers or manufacturing plants. You want to know those things before you go so that you can be most prepared for them. Next. Thanks. Okay, so we're going to chat really quickly kind of about communications and the types of communications that you'll probably be using in your business. These are some of the main ones. Obviously, some of you may be communicating for your business on different mediums like TikTok or Snapchat. And those kind of fall into the different social medias. But just looking at these, what I really want to pull out to you, and again, this presentation is available on the Mighty Networks platform, so you can refer to this at any time. But trying to keep your business communications to email is going to be really key. So it's the #1 communications for professionals, and it's going to be the place that most often you're going to be dealing with your suppliers, dealing with any resources that you're working with. Now, for you guys as business owners, you're probably going to be engaging with your customers through social media or shorter snippets. So your Instagram page is going to probably, for most of you, be really active. And that's a great place to kind of show some love to your customers, follow up with them, like and share posts, and really great tool for your marketing. And we'll get into that in a lot more detail. But the key is here that your social media platforms, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, those are more for sharing information and for having short conversations. If you're divulging into a longer conversation about supplier agreements or an issue with a customer that really needs some detailed explanation or sharing, you should really be deferring that over to your email or getting very good at using the phone. So you guys, some of you have your video on, some of you don't, but give me a kind of a wave or a hand if you have used the phone to contact any of your customers so far. About half of you. Okay, all right, that's pretty good. So in my experience working with entrepreneurs, does text count? I'm gonna say no, Kelly. Generally, we would say our texting is more similar to our Instagram messages or our Facebook messages. We use these for short bursts of communication, but get good at phone conversations. As you grow in your business, you're going to have more and more of them, and especially in this time where people are separate, having a phone call can be really great. And something we are going to encourage you guys to do throughout this program, and we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow when we talk about goal setting, is as you reach out to each other and try and network with each other, we're going to encourage you to give each other a call and have phone conversations with each other so you can practice having conversations on the phone with somebody who is not your close friend or family member. Because those conversations are going to be really great and they're going to help you learn a lot about each other, but they're also going to help you to be able to understand how to have a business-like conversation on the phone. So these last two ones I just really want to highlight that something you should be working on if you don't already feel very comfortable with them is business communication through email and business communication through phone. As your companies grow, these are going to become increasingly more and more important. Next. Thanks. So as we dive into email, so many of you, I'm sure every single one of you has used email. I know you have because I email you all. But as we're writing business emails, and something I'd like you to practice as we go through using email for this program is to try to use a business format email when you're emailing each other in this program. And again, there is going to be lots of opportunities for informal communication, but writing a business email is something that takes practice and you need to get better at it as you continue on in your careers. So always starting an email with a proper salutation, which can be as informal as "Hello, Kelsey," or you can say "Dear Miss Curry" if you would really like. It's totally up to you, but the key thing that differentiates an email from a text message is making sure that you have your salutation and your signature line. You want to make sure that in every email you have an opening and a closing. In the middle, this basically follows the same format as a business letter, which I'm sure all of you studied when you were in maybe grade 5 and you were learning about writing style. But generally, you start by introducing what it is, who you are if it's brand new, or what it is you would like in the first paragraph, prioritizing that important information. We want to keep emails brief and to the point. One of the speakers that we had for one of our events multiple years ago shared with us that if an email is more than 3 paragraphs long, she generally doesn't read it. So in general, try and keep your emails to less than 3 paragraphs unless the person is prepared for a longer email. But especially for an introductory email, we want to keep those emails as brief as possible. Ask for something and make sure that you have a call to action. So if you email me just to say, "Hey, what's up? You know, happy to be in the program. Thank you, bye," I'm probably not going to respond to your email because there hasn't actually been anything you've asked for or a call to action. So make sure that you're making the most of these emails by being polite, being respectful, being competent, but actually asking for what it is that you emailed me for. We want to make sure that we're getting the most out of this form of communication. Sign it off with some type of closing, and then you should all have electronic signatures on your emails. So I know a few of you do, which is excellent. And those electronic signatures can just be as easy as your name and your company, but it's really great if they have some contact information. So you'll notice in mine that my cell phone number is in there. So any of you who have received an email from me, which is all of you, can call my cell phone at any time if you needed something. The key thing with email is you really want to make sure that if an email conversation is getting too long, you've gone back and forth multiple times, that's where it's a good idea to switch to a phone call so that you can have an active discussion. But make your emails engaging and to the point so that you can continue to communicate professionally. Next. Which leads me to phone etiquette. The most important thing that I think I find with entrepreneurs that are just starting out with phone etiquette is please be normal. This is not a sales. Some people get really nervous and put on these strange voices or accents. Everyone has a phone voice. That's quite all right. But try and be normal and be yourself. You know, you're here to talk to somebody about something that ideally you've either rehearsed or you've already talked to them about. So make sure that you're prepared for what you're going to say in your normal voice, and very much like an email, introduce yourself concisely, provide detailed answers, ask questions, and very similar to what we had mentioned on the platform, listen first and then speak. If you are calling somebody, you want to know what it is that they need from you and how you can provide that. A really key thing here is to also stay focused. It's very easy when you're on the phone to also be answering emails or eating an apple or petting your dog or whatever it is. You really want to make sure that when you've got a business phone call that you dedicate that time to being focused on the person that you're talking to and actively listening to them. One of the banes of phones is voicemail, and I know many people hate voicemail, myself amongst them, but the thing that bothers me, yep, Jesse, I feel that. One of the things that bothers me most about voicemail is people that will very detailedly explain what they are looking for and then rush through their phone number. Not everyone has caller ID, and many people, especially now during COVID, because they're using their personal phones for work, will have blocked numbers. So make sure that you leave your name, your phone number, then a concise message of what it is you want, and then your name and phone number again. Because nothing is more infuriating than having to listen to somebody's 5-minute message 5 times just so I can get their very quick phone number at the very end. Personal pet peeve that I'm sharing here. Getting good at voicemail is a really key part of professional practice though, because you will end up leaving a lot of voicemails, because I imagine many of you, just like me, don't answer phone calls that you don't know the number that's coming up, you know, like, oh, I'll deal with that later. But if the voicemail isn't concise and I can't understand it, I might not call that number back. So this is a great tactic for sales, but also for being a professional human as you move forward. Next. Meeting etiquette. So we're going to be in a lot of meetings, but you will have the chance to lead some meetings at some point, either during this program or later. Some of this is a kind of a recap of what Andre talked about as well. But when leading a meeting, either in person or virtually, and there's a slide in the future about virtually, you want to make sure that you're giving people as much notice as possible. And this is especially true if this is a meeting of not a regular group of people. So if you and your business partner meet regularly and you just need to jump on a quick call, then obviously we understand you can't give as much notice as possible. But if you're hosting a meeting, especially some stakeholders for your business, you want to give as much meeting notice as you can, and then send an electronic meeting request with the details of that meeting so that people can have that in an email where they can refer to. But many people will add that to their electronics calendars, which will link to their phones, or whatever reminder system that they're using for themselves. When calling a meeting, try and ensure that you are specific. So a lot of people, especially if you're looking at sales reps or some of your suppliers, don't want to accept a meeting invite that just says meeting to chat. They want to know what it is that you want so that they can be prepared for that meeting and that the meeting can flow as smoothly as possible. And you, as the person leading that meeting, should know who's in your meeting and what it is that they're going to want. A really successful meeting, you should already have planned out in your head. You know what people are going to say, and you know what you're going to say back so that you can get what it is that you called that meeting for, whatever it is that is the goal. Prepare an agenda. Dress for your audience is obviously very something similar to something Andre said. The little asterisk is there because obviously if you have a phone meeting, you don't need to dress for your meeting audience. However, I've always found that it's nice if I am going to have a phone meeting to at least prepare myself by getting dressed up a little bit. It makes me feel more like the meeting is in person and helps center me. Start on time and end on time. You know, people's time is quite valuable, so you want to make sure that you're not running over by heaps and bounds. And then after the meeting, it's always great if you can summarize and send up a follow-up email with the action items. So if you talked about something, it's really great to have a written record of that meeting. As the meeting leader, it's your responsibility to do this or to have appointed someone else to do it. Next. As attendees of a meeting, and you guys are attending many meetings with us, you have some similar roles and responsibilities. The first is to go into the meeting understanding that meeting's purpose so that you can be prepared for anything that comes up in the meeting. So if we're hosting a meeting tomorrow on goal setting, something that you can do to prepare for that is to start thinking about what maybe some of your goals are so that we can talk about those. That's your responsibility as a professional attending a professional meeting. Once again, very similarly to the first ones, you need to be dressed for your audience, be prepared, come on time, and then that last part's take notes where applicable and contribute where appropriate. So in a meeting, generally depending on it, most of the time you should not be talking, you should be listening and contributing where appropriate. So ensure that you can figure out striking that balance, because I'm sure most of us have been in a meeting where somebody just takes over and talks the whole time and gets the whole meeting derailed. I think a few of you are nodding along with me that you've been in these meetings. Excellent. So we're going to try to avoid that by maintaining a good balance of contributing things that are valuable and appropriate and listening when we can learn. Was that a hand up, Omar? Oh, no. Okay, excellent. Next. Virtual meetings, Andre talked about this, so I'll be really quick here. Something key in groups of 4 or more, if you're not speaking, always try and have yourself on mute, and then try and remember to unmute yourself. We'll all mess that up, and that's quite all right. Similarly, again, Andre already covered this, so keeping your camera at an appropriate place. Please wear pants at all our meetings, just in case your camera does move. Keeping a neutral background, keeping focus on your meeting. Something that I think is really important in a meeting is, especially if you do get distracted, because we all will at some point, try and keep control of your face and not just, you know, start rolling your eyes at your phone. It's very disheartening to our speakers and presenters if they see you on your phone getting upset because you saw an Instagram post that you didn't like or something like that. So try and kind of keep control of your face, especially while on camera. Use that chat function where necessary. Kelly did a great demonstration of that. If you don't want to unmute yourself, you can always ask questions in there. And with virtual meetings, it's important to be even more conscious of time, because generally in an in-person meeting, you give people time in between meetings so they can transition to another meeting or something else that they have. In virtual meetings, people tend to stack their time quite a bit because they don't have anywhere to go in between. They just have to click on a link. So it's really important to stay cognizant of people's time. Next. For presentations, so if you are attending a presentation, and we're going to attend a good number of them, some professional practices to keep in mind. Make sure that you're always muted during a presentation unless you've been asked to speak or your presenter has asked you to have any questions. Your camera can be off, but depending on content, different presenters will want different things. It's really great to be able to read the room and see people's faces as you present, especially in a group this size. So defer to your presenter on that one. But again, remember that these are formal business interactions, so please treat them as such. So your presenters are here. Most of them are giving their time so that they can learn a little bit more about you, and you can learn a little bit more about their subject matter. So maintaining that professional conduct, those professional languages, that's going to be very important. Questions and discussions are always encouraged, but again, remember, be curious, be respectful, and be attentive. If you don't agree with something a presenter has said, remember using those I statements and saying things like, I have follow-up questions about this, or in my experience, this has been different. Can you talk about how this would apply? So really making sure that you're respecting the fact that our presenters are here. It's okay to disagree with them in a respectful manner. Next. And if you're late, so this is a really key one for me. I really hate being late personally. So a couple things just to keep in mind that you will be late. Sometimes you'll get kicked out of the Zoom meeting or something like that will happen. And the really key thing here is just don't make a big deal out of it and address it when it's appropriate. But when you arrive is pretty much never when appropriate. So if possible, in person, you're going to wait for a natural break either in the conversation or you see people kind of changing presenters or something like that. You're going to come in quietly, sit down, don't interrupt the ongoing conversation. You can address your tardiness later, but when you come in, don't come in a flurry and be like, oh my goodness, I am late, I'm so sorry. That's not the appropriate time or place. Virtually, it's even a little bit easier. Very similarly, join, ensure you're muted, kind of read the room and figure out what's going on. If everyone else has their camera off, you probably want to turn your own camera off as well. You don't want to interrupt the ongoing conversation, but again, you can ask questions later or apologize later if necessary. So big key takeaway here, don't make a fuss. If you're late, and we can address it later. Next. Okay, so that's kind of my overview of some professional communications. We're going to jump into ethics and conflict resolution really quickly. But before we do, I just want to know if there's any questions that any of you have or anything I can answer before we go any further. No, you're all looking pretty silent. Okay, cool. So ethics, essentially ethics, what we're talking about here. Oh, sorry, Jocelyn. I'm sorry also that you keep getting kicked off. That is very odd. So business ethics that we're talking about here, generally what ethics are is it's a question that comes down to what is the right thing to do. And so these can be interpreted in many ways. There's thousands and thousands of studies on ethics that you can take if you're more interested in this. But when dealing with an ethical dilemma, normally we would do a bit of an exercise around this, but we're just going to talk about it a little bit. So some key questions that I'd like you to maybe write down or put on a Post-it note or just make a mental note of if you are dealing with an ethical dilemma. They can be, am I being authentic? And that means to yourself and to your business. And what we do on day 3, where we talk about your mission and your vision and values and purpose-driven businesses, is going to be really key here. So is doing this thing or not doing this thing in alignment with what I stand for and what I believe in? And that's going to be a really key thing to help guide you as you make a decision-making platform around your different ethical issues or dilemmas. 2, am I being truthful? So sometimes there are things in our business which we're not able to share or are confidential or maybe are intellectual property, but truthful and lying are definitely 2 very different things. So just because you can't share something doesn't mean you need to outright lie about it. It's okay to say that you can't share something at this time. And so trying to maintain truth and honesty as much as possible in your business is going to be very key. The 3rd one obviously is something that hopefully your ethical dilemmas do not take you to, but are you following the law and or policy? And sometimes, especially if it's a policy, there is a time to question that, but that is something that you should refer to. So if you're unsure what to do, there may be precedent or policy already set with the supplier or customer that you're already looking at, or maybe something that you've set yourself in your business. And that's where those policies can become very helpful. Am I causing harm? We take this one from the Hippocratic Oath, so from doctors, the do no harm clause. We try to make sure that the dilemmas that we come into, we are not harming our customers, stakeholders, or ourselves. And we want to make sure that we're choosing options that cause the least amount of harm. And the last one, which is really key for this cohort here, that's why there's an asterisk here, maintaining social responsibility and social purpose is a key part of being part of this social economy. So are you leaving the world in a better place than you found it? Acknowledging that that's not always possible, but trying to make sure that when we're faced with tough questions, that we try and choose the path that leaves the world in the best place that we can, so that we can continue to operate our businesses and live our lives in an ethical and better world. Oh, sorry, can you go back one real quick, Andre? Thanks. Oh, no. That's it. Oh, okay. Thank you. I just wanted to chat real quick. Is there any questions around ethics? This can be kind of a hard subject and sometimes is not the most fun thing to discuss. So does anybody have any questions around this? Any concerns or things they'd like to chat about? You're all good? Okay, so some examples that you might have. Oh, Jesse?
Yeah, so just real quick. So like the first point, being authentic. Now this is like you said authentic to yourself and your business, but that's different than say maybe your opinion, your personal opinion kind of thing, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
that's kind of it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thanks, Jesse. And I think that kind of a good example of what Jesse's saying is that sometimes our opinions aren't in line with what might be best, or we may feel a way about a customer that's maybe hasn't been very kind to us or is treating us rudely, but we need to be in line with our business values of treating customers with respect would be a good example of that. So I think this is a really good question for you to kind of keep in the back of your mind, because eventually you all will have ethical dilemmas in your business. You know, you might have a staff member who's asking you because they need a cash advance and you don't know if that's in your policy and what to do. You might have a supplier who's using something that they said was one thing and then turned out to be another thing. How are you going to handle that? And so by understanding, you know, really what you stand for and having a solid framework of what your business is really going to help guide you on that. Because Jesse makes a really good point. Just because we're angry with someone doesn't mean that we get to just choose to be mean to them. We need to really follow what's authentic to the values of ourselves and our business. And this exercise that we're going to do on on Wednesday, I think, of really figuring out what those values and those purposes are is going to be really helpful for that. Thanks, Jesse. Anything else? Awesome, thanks. All right, we can move on, Andrea. Okay, conflict resolution. So kind of the last piece that we're really going to talk about here is conflict resolution. And just like ethical dilemmas, you will all have conflicts in your business. Eventually, at some point, something will bother you, someone will annoy you, something will go wrong, and it will be your role as a founder and an entrepreneur to make sure that you deal with that. And that's why that's point number one. Conflicts generally, in my experience, very rarely just completely disappear. So it's very important as you deal in your business that you're embodying all of those values that we're going to talk about on Wednesday, and that you deal with that conflict. And conflict is never, ever about the other person. Conflict is always about you. So try not to take it personally. Search your feelings, as the Force does teach us, and figure out what it is that is bothering you about this conflict so that you can deal with it. If it's a feelings thing, then sometimes you might just need to work through your feelings. If it's that something's not being done, how can you deal with that conflict? And really think about this before you really jump in. It's always a good idea during conflict to ask for clarification. You may think you know all of the answers, and I can promise you 99% of the time you do not. There's going to be other pieces of this conflict that you are unaware of. So asking to speak to somebody about whatever the conflict is, getting more information and clarification before you can really dive into this is going to be really key. And very similarly, this is going to be a key thing that's going to come up over and over again. Listen first, ask questions second. In conflicts, especially if our emotions are charged, sometimes it's hard to actually sit back and listen to the side of the person that may be causing us harm, but it's our role in conflict resolution. We must make sure always to listen. Make sure you check yourself. So again, check your emotions, check your body language, check your reactions, especially if you're on a Zoom call, and ensure that you are making sure that you're demonstrating you are open to this conversation. And ask for what you need. So in conflict resolution, it's not going to be resolved by just saying to someone, so tell me more. You're going to need to actually ask for what it is that can help you or help you bring you guys to some type of understanding between whatever the conflict is. And something that's probably one of the harder things for most people is to be direct in conflict resolution. Now, that doesn't mean being crass or being rude, but asking for what you need and moving forward in that way is the only way you're going to get through this conflict, by being open and authentic. And those of you that are in here that have business partners or are considering business partnership, that's going to be a really key thing here. Direct and respectful conversation is going to be something that can really be a key part of your partnership, and we'll talk about that more later in the program. Next. So there's something called the conflict sandwich, and this is generally how we deal with conflict. I'm going to give you a really admittedly bad example because conflict often is much more nuanced than the example I'm going to show you. But generally, when you're looking at bringing up, discussing a conflict with a professional contact, you want to kind of work in this way. So you usually want to start by introducing your topic, but staying positive as you do. Expressing a concern without casting blame. This is really key. This is where those I statements are going to come in, and they're going to be really important. So you don't want to say, you know, you're a jerk and I hate you. You want to say something like, I've been feeling uncomfortable because of this. So expressing those statements without casting blame or making someone feel like they're a bad person. Responding to concerns, again, without casting blame, because generally if you bring up something unpleasant, you're going to get some pushback of somebody else retorting to that. And you want to make sure that you respond to those concerns, again, without casting blame. This should not turn into a shouting match. That's not the point here. Try to propose solutions collaboratively. So again, and this might not all happen in one conversation. This might be some back and forth, but try to have each party come up with solutions or brainstorm things collaboratively so that it's not just you saying what you need, but you can ask, how can we make this work together? That's a really key question. What would you like to see? How can we make this work? How can we figure this out? Asking those questions collaboratively with the person that you're engaged in conflict with can help really form a nice collaborative solution. And always close after conflict resolution, despite how you feel, close the conversation and thank them for having this conversation. Because these critical conversations, to be completely honest, they suck. No one likes having them. So it's always great if you're going to engage in one of these to respect people and thank them for engaging in this uncomfortable situation with you. So can we flip over, Andre? Here's an example of a, albeit very easily resolved conflict, but so just kind of seeing what we're seeing here. So I pulled this one from offline. So, you know, we're saying this is a workshop facilitator, and we're saying they were speaking to the workshop participants what you felt was unkindly. They respond that they didn't really feel like it was meant that way. And so together, you know, you come up with having a different form of communication style so that everybody feels more comfortable. And then in the end, you thank them. So again, I do understand that most conflict is not going to be resolved this easily by just saying, hey, can you do this? And people are like, yes, of course I can. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. But that being said, you will be surprised how often that happens. By being direct and kind and respectful, it is amazing how often people just say, I didn't consider it that way. It won't happen all the time, but it will happen sometimes. So it's very much worth bringing these things to people's attention and to your own attention, because as we go forward, especially as entrepreneurs, and we're the only ones doing this, people aren't just going to change on their own. We want to make sure that we are being respectful and direct as we move through conflict. Next. Awesome. So final things that I have for you, and then I will turn you over to Dave, and we can kind of go through the growth wheel. Just some final considerations as you embark on starting this program and making sure that you're keeping professional conduct at top of mind. It's okay to be wrong. We're all wrong. Sometimes we're going to mess up. We're going to accidentally swear at each other on here, and we're just going to apologize, and we're going to progress, and we're going to move forward. We're all here to learn something, and admitting that you're wrong is a very powerful tool, especially as business owners. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to admit that you're learning. And so we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and safe to be able to do that. Do what feels almost natural is something that I think is really key. So your professional style should not be your unedited self, but it also should not be a robot who has no interests or hobbies. So it's okay to have a personality. In fact, it's highly encouraged. We're going to be a tight group here, but that doesn't mean that we need to hear stories that are highly inappropriate or maybe illegal of your past. So not the unedited version of yourself, but do show some personality, and think of, you know, that old adage, if I wouldn't tell it to my grandma, it's probably not going to be a professional conversation that I'm going to have. Leading to the next one, obviously, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to show, you know, that this is upsetting me or this is angering me, but we need to make sure that we're having conversations around that, and we're using those conflict resolution tools to work through those things. We don't expect anyone to be robots in their professional lives, but we do expect people to always be respectful. You can always get more casual in your business relationships, but it's hard to get more formal. So if you start a business relationship by having formal salutations and, you know, overdressing for things, that's great, because you can always start to become more casual and better friends with people. But if you don't start a relationship professionally, and then you do have to have some of those hard conversations, sometimes it's hard to be taken serious. It's quite all right to start having personal relationships and forming friendships with your business associates, but you need to have that professional lens where you can still have those professional conversations. Consider your industry. So for some of you, you know, your professional communication tools and etiquette are going to be different than others, and the things you would wear to business meetings would be different than others. You know, even in our office, sometimes the things that we wear are very different because of the things that we have to do in a certain day. So consider your industry. Not everyone is going to require you to show up in a three-piece suit or a dress and heels for a business meeting, but some of you will, and you need to make sure that you understand your industry well enough to be able to figure out what is the professional dress, etiquette, personal protective equipment, and communication tools that are required. I already mentioned this. It's okay to have personal relationships with people you are in business with. Like, obviously, you are going to have friends. You might have a business forming relationship with a parent or a partner, and those things, and those things are okay as long as you have established ground rules of how to communicate professionally with people that are in your personal circle. That being said, understand, again, those ethical dilemmas, where crossing a line is and where it is not. So, you know, if you're going into business with your mother, that person's probably always going to be your mother, and you need to set up some ground rules. Whereas, you know, starting a romantic relationship with your business partner should have a whole different set of conversations and ground rules around it. So make sure that you are understanding those types of things as you embark on this. You only get one chance at a first impression. So again, similar to that, you can always start formal. Make sure that you are exuding that professional confidence, that professional etiquette as you start a relationship, and you can always get more casual as you go forward. And again, if you make a mistake, apologize. It's quite all right. Move on, learn. We can always get another chance to try and learn more, but those admitting that you're wrong and apologizing are going to be really key things as we move forward. Next. So I have developed a course for you guys on LinkedIn. It should take you probably about an hour and a half. So if you are interested in learning more about professional communication styles, you can click through and you can do some of the collection, the whole collection, whatever you'd like. There's a link to it in the Mighty Networks platform as well. So you can go through, you know, if you're really great already at texting, but you're not so great at phone calls, then just do the module on phone calls. This is all here for you guys. And it's a nice module about developing some really solid communication skills as a student or a recent graduate entrepreneur. And with that, I'd like to thank you for attending my professional etiquette workshop. And if you have any questions, you guys can unmute and ask them now. You can stop screen sharing, Andre, whenever you're ready. Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, you're also professional. I love it.
I thought it was very good. I really liked it.
Thank you, Andre.
Great work, Kelsey.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, this is, right now we're having an informal conversation, and that's fine. We can continue to have these informal conversations as we meet together. Those professional kind of rules of engagement are going to be really key, especially when we have presenters that are joining us. Remember that all of these presenters that are joining us, these are future networking contacts for you. They're people that can open doors for you in the future. You can always get less formal. You cannot get more formal later. It's much, much harder. So as professionals come in, try and maintain that professional conduct, dress the part, act the part. We want to make sure, again, I'm not asking any of you to wear a suit, but I am asking you to not wear your pajamas when we have presenters that are coming to join us. All right.
I have a question. So is dressing, like, can you dress the part? Like because if I'm going to be working in my studio immediately after, is it okay if I'm like wearing an apron or something? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, don't have an apron that says F you on it, but an apron, you know, really shows the part of what it is that you do. And that's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, I just want you to wear the things that are going to show you as the professional you are. And for some of you, that's going to be very different. I mean, some of your brands really revolve around, you know, Kristen, if you're going to wear fitness gear, that really fits in your brand. Whereas, you know, if I showed up on camera in my fitness gear, that's probably not representing the brand that I'm trying to exude. So really showing off who you are as a professional is great, while maintaining the professional version of yourself. So regardless of what clothing you're wearing that show your brand, you want it to be clean and to not really have anything offensive on it. Yeah. And again, always ask questions. If you know, come on camera in the morning and you look at yourself and you think, oh, is this professional? Ask. We'll tell you. We're lovely and honest, and we will tell you if what you're wearing for that particular day isn't going to suit the needs that you have. If you want to ask us anything, or a dilemma or a conflict resolution strategy, we're happy to talk you through all of those types of things. All right.
Nice. We don't have to worry about smells.
Yes, that is great. Quick story. So in my previous life, I was a co-op consultant before I worked at Leap Junction. So I'd help students that were preparing for their co-op interviews. And there were 3 times that I had to actually tell people that they didn't receive jobs because the employers were concerned about their personal hygiene. And that's a really uncomfortable conversation to have. So please don't make that happen to me with any of you in the future. I don't want to have that conversation again. I'm quite happy to be done with that. So yeah. When you are going into a business meeting, clean clothing and a shower and deodorant are not optional. Please have all of those things.
Gonna go shower right after this.
Great. Well, you know, I can't smell you, so you're fine, Omar. But you know, when we meet in person next, a shower would be great. All right. Dave, do you want to take a quick break, or do you want? How long is your growth wheel presentation?
Not long. Does anyone need a break right now?
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I will take over. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just have a couple more things to show you guys before we finish up for today. So let me just switch over to a screen share. First thing is booking for office hours. Obviously, as we said, we are available between 2 and 4, Monday to Thursday for you guys exclusively. These can just be drop in. Like if we don't have anything going on, you can just message us on the online platform, shoot an email, or if we're already Zooming, just say, hey, I want to chat with you, totally fine. But if you have some time where, you know, you want to schedule something ahead of time, you want to talk about some specific things, or you want to make some regular scheduled meetings, where you need to go to book that is just on our website. So most of you have booked an appointment through Leap Junction Online before. If you haven't, you just have to make a quick account, and then you will end up on this page, which is our booking page. And to book our office hours, it is right here, Accelerator Office Hours. We're doing it in slots of 30 minutes. So if you have a time in mind already or something specific, yeah, pretty easy. But I just wanted to make that clear. That's how you book with us. If anyone has issues and can't get online there, just let us know. Next thing to go over really quickly was, one last second here, is the Growth Wheel online platform. I'm just going to switch my view here. There we go. Okay, so a few of you already have this and have already logged in, but the Growth Wheel Online is kind of our business planner and business profile tool. It's a way for us to kind of keep tabs on your growth, what you're working on in your business specifically. So each of you today, for those who don't have one, are going to get an invite to this platform, and we need you to log in and start adding information to your profile. And this will grow over time as we're working on our businesses throughout the program. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a quick overview of what it looks like. So once you log in, you're going to see a screen just like this. And there's these kind of 5 main tabs at the top here. And I'll just kind of go over each of them in a little bit of detail. If you want some videos that explain kind of everything, you can go to this tab here. Also, there's lots of little tutorial videos just about how the platform works and different aspects in case you don't remember what I said or in case I didn't cover it in depth. These are always here for you. Also at the bottom, you always have Growth Wheel support platform. But when you're logged in, you can open up this other tab, and it's kind of just a FAQ forum for different areas if you're having an issue. You can always ask me personally. I know this platform pretty well. And if you need to email me directly from the platform, you can always click this. That opens up my email. Okay, so you're going to log in today, and this is the page I want you to fill out. Just quick information. This is just kind of information about your company. So company name, company address, all that kind of standard stuff, anything about your social media. So I mainly just want you to fill out this page and your team page. So this is if you have any other team members. Oh, wow, it's running really slow. I apologize. There we go. So if there's other team members, well, as you can see in my business, we have 5 of us total. So this is where you will have them. And then under your profile, you can go in here and add information and edit your profile. So I definitely want you guys to do this and add information about you personally in your business as well. We do use this information a lot for if anyone's looking for a contact like you or a business like you. This is what we would mainly pull from because this is the most concise profile we would have for you. So I can easily pull from this, as well as once you complete your profile on here, we'll have a lot of details about your business too. So I can easily share that with someone who might be a potential business contact for you. So again, you're going to fill out your business profile and you're going to go to the team setting and add information about yourself here and invite any of your team members that you might have in your team. So I'm going to go back. So under business profile, quick overview, the business tab. This is where you would put information about your business specifically. As you can see, ours is very meme heavy, as is the way in our business. But this is kind of, as we go along, you're going to be talking about a lot of these subjects. So this is kind of, this part of the business profile is like a condensed version of a business plan. And under each tab, there's going to be different subject matter around key elements of your business plan. So we've got your mission, your vision, your values. These are things we're going over this week. There's areas for describing all your products and features and the costs around them and the revenue around them. There's areas for market segmentation and market cap value, as well as competitor and market player information. So this is good stuff for you to fill out just for yourself. If you haven't done a business plan, this is kind of an easier way to go about it. It's also really good for you to keep a watchful eye. There is also an entire financial overview part of the software, but I'd rather go over this individually with each one of you, because each of you are not going to need all the parts of the growth wheel platform when it comes to the business profile and financial overview. So once we have appointments together, we'll go over this individually. There's some awesome features in here around customer references. One key thing to keep is testimonials or things people say, letters they send you, texts they send you. This is just a catch-all if you want to keep it. We were really bad in our business at keeping these in the beginning. We don't use this as the warehouse for them, but this is just a potential place for it. There's also another tab here for partners. So if you've got suppliers and different service providers that you work with in your business, this is where you can kind of list them all out and keep tabs on them all their contact information. It's a really good way to organize all this as well. Any of your legal side of your business, there's also a tab for that. So if you've incorporated, if you've registered your business, you can host those documents here. If you've got IP or intellectual property, client legal contracts, supplier contracts, employee contracts, all those can be housed here as well. So it's a great place to kind of store that. I know some of us are better than others at keeping ourselves organized, and Growth Wheel Business Profile is a great way to kind of keep ourselves really organized in these kind of key elements of our business. Rather than it being scattered across your computer, scattered over Google Drive, this is a way to keep it really concise, okay? The next area I want to show you guys in Growth Wheel, the one that we're going to mainly spend our time on while you're with us over these 7 weeks, is under the Growth Plan tab here. So for you guys, when you jump in here, you're not going to see anything. There'll be nothing here. This is kind of a dummy account for us. But basically, you'll hit the Growth tab, and it has 4 sections. We have ambitions, which are really goals. We have what are called 360-degree screenings. We have 30, 60, 90-day plan, and we have outcomes. How this is kind of all packaged is typically when you're working with us as a client, we do a bit of a screening of your business to understand kind of key areas first that you want to specifically work on. And that's mainly what the screening is. It kind of gives us a sense of different areas that you're weak in right now that you want to work on. The ambitions section, which we are going to use this week, and it is one of your deliverables for the week, is to actually set some goals and ambitions for yourself over the next 7 weeks, over the next quarter, and over the next year. And it's good for us to track that as your business advisors. We want you to set, achievable, measurable goals for your business and for you personally. And this is a good place to house all those so that you can see them, and we can see them as well, and help you be accountable to those ambitions. Inside of these ambitions, we usually have they're usually larger scale, but of course, for each of those ambitions, there's going to be little things along the way that you've got to work on and do. And those are what we call decisions and actions when we're using kind of the Growth Wheel vernacular. And decisions and actions are just kind of those day-to-day things, those things within the next 30, 60, or 90 days that you've got to do to kind of achieve these larger ambitions. And whenever we make a big ambition, we try to add different decisions and actions to it. We give it a bit of a timeline. And whenever we do add anything to these lists, they automatically populate under the 30, 60, 90-day tab. And this is kind of the area where us as advisors, we can check in, and this is where I can see what have you been working on since the last time we talked, or what have you been working on over a couple month time period. So for your business, one decision and action that's on here, the action you have to take is filling out your business profile. So this kind of becomes your to-do list. And it's your to-do list while you're with us during Leap In. So we would like you to use it and keep track here. It's pretty easy to add them when you're under this tab. You just literally click, type it in. So maybe it's start, or maybe the action you got to do is develop your business, or sorry, your marketing budget. Okay. So that would be an action. And then we always have a focus area that it's got to be under. And these are categorized by business concept, organization, customer relations, operations. Marketing is under customer relations. We would put that here. And we would click save. It adds it to the list. If there's other team members on your crew, you can assign that to other team members here. And then you give yourself a timeline as to when you want to work on or finish that by. So less than 30 days, 30 days, 60, 90, or more than 90 days. So you assign your timeline, and you can also choose to share it with the team, so with your team, or you can kind of keep it, if you want it, private, so that us as advisors don't see it. So you could have things in here that are more personal around your business. You can always turn this off, and then it's hidden from us as well. Okay, and then once you've completed one, you would just check it off, and it disappears. It goes into an archive, and you can view your archive by hitting the filter button up here. Okay. The last tab here is kind of our outcomes. So whenever you achieve a large ambition or a large goal, we want to document that. It's good to know that, how do we know where we're going if we don't know where we've been, is what we usually say. So documenting, milestones is key. It also, helps when you're in a real downtime in your business and you need to look back and say, what have I really accomplished? This is a good way to keep track of all the things you've accomplished. So we usually this is why ambitions and outcomes are bookended in the growth plan tab. So this is hopefully, you'll set some ambitions for the start of this program, and some of those will end up in your outcome section after the 7 weeks. Okay. The other two areas, so financial overview and budgeting, we will go over and look at how to use these tools once we head into those areas of the Leap In program. We do have kind of another important area is the advisor relation tab. So anytime we have meetings scheduled with an advisor, this is where you'll always find them, and then we usually put our meeting minutes in here as well. So these are just called interactions. And then if there's file sharing between us, those would be under the My Files tab here. So you'd be able to see things you shared with me and things I've shared with you. Okay. And that is pretty much everything in Growth Wheel. So you'll get, as I said, you'll get a link today, and you'll be able to log in and start adding your information. All right. Any questions about Growth Wheel? No, everyone's pretty solid there. Well, will we be receiving PDFs of the slides that were shown today? Yeah, actually, you definitely will. So Kelsey's are already up on the Leap, the online platform. So as soon as you guys get your invites, you'll be able to go on and see that under day one. We have to get Andre's on there as well. And then typically after most days, we'll be able to post the video from the day as well. So we'll have to chop this one down a bit because I think we're going on 4 hours. But we're going to try to make sure that the speaker presentations, when we have our guest speakers, we're recording those snippets, and we'll make sure we upload those. So that might take, it'll probably be a day later. The video content will go up just because it will take time to render the file. Omar, what's up?
Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
Going through all the stuff that we went through today, all the homework.
Yeah.
All the homework that we have to do, are we going to receive links for all of them? Because I know we talked about a few of them.
Yep, I'm going to show. That was the last thing I kind of want to go over just as a reminder.
Okay.
So give me a second, just open that screen. So
okay, thanks.
You definitely will always have a link to that, and it is in the online platform. So here, I'll open it up here.
While he's opening that up, I'll just jump in here real quick. I know you guys don't have access to the Mighty Network platform right now, but literally all of this is in here, and that's kind of what we're asking you to do for the rest of the day is explore and figure all of that out. And there's a whole post about homework and a whole post about deliverables and a whole post with the PDFs and everything in there. So we'll make sure to get you that today. And then tomorrow, if there's still something you can't find, we'll spend some time kind of tomorrow in our morning after our icebreaker and after our value propositions talking about, because this is the first time we've really showed this to anyone other than ourselves. So if there's something you can't find, we'll go over that again tomorrow.
Okay. You guys can see my screen? Yeah, okay, so I'll give you just a quick tour one more time. So you're gonna log in, you're gonna go to cohorts, you're gonna click on Leap In 2020 Accelerator, boom. And then to find the deliverables, to find your homework, you go under topics. And you will always be able to find the content overviews of that week, and the deliverable list will be right here. So we have just week 1's in here so far, and you'll just click that tab and you'll be able to see the content we're covering this week. And then the deliverables for the week are listed here. Today is a bit of an exception because we have some extra homework because we just need you guys to get on the platform and stuff. So today's homework is actually like this extra. This will only be the only time we do this. So under day 1, Monday, July 6th. So you already see Kelsey's presentation and notes are all here. So I've got the professional etiquette. You can actually just see the presentation right inside here. So if you want the slides, they're already there. If you want to download it, she's posted a nice PDF link here as well, okay? And then for our content and deliverables, it's right here again. I posted it inside of week 1. And then for today's kind of mini homework, we have it listed here. So just as a review, what we're covering again today is you're going to log in, you're going to look at the community guideline documents. You're going to complete your Leap In online personal profile, and you're going to write your 1-minute introduction, add a photo, and your kind of mini bio. You're going to download the Mighty Networks app and add Leap Junction to the account so you can access it from your phone and tablet. Then you're going to complete your first post or comment, which is located under the why document that you'll see on here. You're going to answer the icebreaker question. Then you're going to log into Growth Wheel Online and fill in a little bit of your Growth Wheel business profile and the team page as well. And then you're going to want to maybe schedule your first office hours meeting with one of us as well. And that is pretty much everything. I know that kind of is a big list, but honestly, most of this won't take you very long. And I think that's pretty much everything I had for today. I can't seem to find my control tab, so I can turn this off. There it is. There we go. Sorry, guys. Too many screens. So yeah, that's kind of everything in a nutshell. I know that was a lot of stuff today. I'm looking forward to getting into the swing of our regular routine, where it's less us, talking about logistics and more talking about the subject of the day. And we're excited for tomorrow. A couple great presentations. Tomorrow we have Kelsey doing an amazing presentation on goal setting. We have Fanshawe Professor Braden Hill, who will be talking with us about life design and design thinking concepts and how to use that inside your business. And then we have a presentation from a former Leap Junction staff member, a former Leap In graduate, Marley Harris, who's going to be talking to us about manifestation and dreamlining, which is kind of another form of goal setting in your personal life and in your business. And that's going to be a pre-recorded presentation because unfortunately she's living in Australia right now. We'll kind of just watch that together. So I'm excited to see that as well. Does anyone have any more questions right now or anything else that they want to chat about? Kelsey, Andre, anything else for either of you to add right now?
No, I'm good. Thank you all so much for joining us. And like Dave said, we know that this was a heavy day of kind of just listening to us talk about logistics, but we hope that some of these deliverables and the things that we have prepared for the program excite you and kind of get you ready to get going. And we hope you fill out those profiles. Again, tomorrow we'll have an opportunity once you've looked at those platforms to really answer any questions. We'll start tomorrow with an icebreaker. And then we'll really be diving into goal setting. So as you kind of explore the platform, I hope that you'll start percolating some ideas about what goals you might want to set, and then we'll talk about how to set those effectively.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. It was fun to see you all. We're very excited to keep things rolling. And these 7 weeks are going to go by really quick. So definitely take it all in as you can, because honestly, it doesn't feel like 7 weeks is short, but let me tell you, it goes by like that.
Yeah, it really does.
I'm excited to spend the next 27 days with you all, and with that, I guess we can sign off. Kelsey, Andre, do you want to take a bit of a lunch break and then reconvene afterwards?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay. Awesome. Well, have a great day, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow, 9 a.m. And with that, have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Great session.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Dave?
Yes.
I have a 2 o'clock and a 3 o'clock meeting.
Oh, okay. Do you want to?
You can do it now. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine to go right now.
Okay, cool. That was awesome.
That went really well.
It took longer than I thought it was going to.
It definitely did. I think a lot of that is because it wasn't like a formal structure. We're just kind of floating today, and
but no, it was good. They seemed as interested as could be interested in the content, but they seemed engaged and they stayed, and that's great.
Yeah, a little. I think it went awesome. I think you guys did a great job. I am a little concerned about Jared and Charlene. I think that's
back into my email.
I think that's really odd that on day one that we didn't hear anything, because out of all the days, day one was the one that was definitely scheduled.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned there.
Hang on, I'm just gonna turn off this recording.
Okay. Yeah, we can stop it and all.